Hey, this is Roleplaying Public Radio. We're playing Masks of Nyarlathotep in Trail of Cthulhu, Session 2 in New York. And so after acquiring some money totally legitimately for good purposes, didn't involve a priest blackmailing a man over adultery.
The priest was not blackmailing.
With the blackmailing.
You were complicit with it.
He was committing adultery. Of course I'm going to be complicit in guilting him into giving something back.
All right, fair enough. So
interestingly, you didn't guilt him into stop being an adulterer. That's a choice.
That'll come later with the lecture that I give on Sunday in the homily about burning in hell forever and ever, kind of a thing. Fire and brimstone.
Never realized Catholics were so Baptist.
1920s Catholics.
So
Fair.
You have numerous leads right now in terms of figuring out where you want to go next.
Mm-hmm.
You already have some leads leading you out of the city, like the Penguin Foundation in London. You could, of course, telegraph your friend
Patrick O'Bannon
in Dublin and tell him to look into that. So he can give you some background information on that, but that will take him some time. In fact, I'll just say you went ahead. I assume you've already gone ahead and telegraphed.
Yeah, I went ahead and telegraphed him.
So he'll probably get that sooner or later and report back to you. So what lead were you guys... And also, there's another lead aside from Roger Carlyle, the lecture, the Juju House, and Mary Matt the Harvard Library. You also have Jonah Kensington, who owns Prospero House. Eric Jackson Elias is publisher. So anyway, I'm sorry, what was your question?
Did we telegraph Harvard as well?
You could just call them.
They have a phone.
Yeah.
Central, give me the Harvard Library.
Yeah, basically. 555 Klondike, Klondike 555. I have no idea. Yeah, you can contact her. Who wants to call her?
And what is it she has again? A book that Jackson wanted.
Yes.
Do we have the title of the book?
No, it wasn't in there.
Oh, yeah.
That's the only reason we're calling her, because the title of the book was not in her letter to him.
He said something
Here.
Africa.
Oh, here's the note. You can read it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, the note probably would help. So many delicious handouts.
May be found here. Other volumes. Contacts upon arrival. I will be most happy to further assist you. Okay, then.
So really, unless she's being murdered as we call her, what we really need from her is just the book title of what he was looking
So
for.
you could call her and ask her out.
Let's call her and ask her out.
All right. So who's going to call her?
I guess the
Go for it.
library use.
Yep. What's your point? You can easily call her. She asks you, yes, it's Mary Matt, right? Yeah, can I help you?
Yes, Miss Satterite. I'm calling because I'm trying to complete the work of a friend of mine. But his notes are fairly shoddy on this point. Do you remember speaking with Mr. Jackson Elias?
Yes, I can.
Do you remember what book he inquired after for?
Yes, Africa's Darkest Secrets. Africa's Dark Sex, I'm sorry.
Oh. Darkest Secrets is a real book.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I misread it. It's Dark Sex. S-E-C-T-S.
Dang.
Okay. And I believe you also told him that the book is no longer available at Harvard Library?
Yes, it mysteriously disappeared from the Widener Library several months ago.
Do you remember anything about that incident?
One day it just vanished. There was an unspeakable odor in the collection the day we noticed the book was missing.
Okay.
Very foul, chemical.
Do you remember who last checked it out?
Book thieves.
It would take some time. I think... I actually looked it up. It had been in our... It is one of our reserve books. It is not allowed to leave the library. Dr. Armitage at Miskatonic University checked it out 3 years before that. I mean, had examined it in particular, but that's the only note we have about it. But it was, a reference book. It was not allowed to be checked out.
All right. And I believe you also mentioned that other volumes might be of use?
Well, the subject...
In continuing this research, what exactly was Jackson looking at this book for?
He was kind of... He never visited, so I wasn't quite sure. About the occult in Africa, I assume. We do have several books on the subject. And we could certainly help anyone talking about that. I mean, obviously, Egyptology is all the rage now. But we... if there's a particular... But, I mean, it's a wide subject, and I'm quite busy. If you had a specific aspect... the...
Death cults.
Death cults. Specifically one named the Bloody Tongue.
I could look that up. If you would give me your phone number, I could call you back in a day or so.
It is 8675309.
Oh, yes. Very well.
I've got it.
I've got it written on the wall.
So, yeah.
Okay. And we've taken a list of the book. And thank you, Miss Atwright.
Mm-hmm.
And the last person I've heard it was Armitage.
Yeah,
3 years before.
We've already talked to Armitage before.
We did?
But that was on an entirely different topic.
Which means I can contact him again.
And we're much closer to Massachusetts right now.
Yes.
We're not, across the country from it.
True. But we could also see if the New York Public Library has the book.
That you could just make a survey of all the libraries available in New York at the point of library use.
Okay, I will make a point of library use.
All right.
New York University might have something too, or CUNY, or...
It was at this point that he related the names or acronyms for every university.
In existence by 1920-something in New York.
Go to Wikipedia.
You find out, here's where you're going, no book has it because it has been...
No book has it?
I mean, no library has the book. No library has any of the books. Sorry. It was recently published only 2 years ago, but only 13 copies exist, according to a book collector's monograph that you find. Authorities seized the rest as obscene and burned them. So, Harvard Library has one that they've gotten an exemption. Of course, this is information out of date.
And that one's gone with a faint odor.
Yes.
Barbarian's
Strong
author's name.
The author's name. One day I don't bring my iPad with the...
Stephen Atwright, right? Stephen Alziz?
Yeah, no, Stephen Alziz. It is assumed to be a pseudonym.
Stephen Alziz.
Yes. Sorry. I was the coaster.
Okay. Actually, that was the priest banging his fist on a glass table, pissed off that books had been burned.
Yep. It had been seized in
people are
America
finding
and
books.
England. Yeah, that's our job. Anyways.
Wrong department.
All right, fair enough.
British cars, fine. Books, no.
So, there is some more information about the Massive Nyarlathotep Companion, which I forgot to bring with me, or my iPad, which has it on there. So, that's fine. So, yes, but you do know that the book would be stamped with a thing from the Harvard Library, Harvard University Library, so you could identify, if you find a copy of it, you would know if it's the one that was stolen.
So,
if we find one of the single-digit number of copies left in the world...
No, two-digit, there are 13.
No, I thought the rest...
There are 13 left.
Okay.
The rest were burned.
Okay.
So where are the
I thought they
remaining
just printed 13.
Yeah. In the hands of private collectors who...
Do we know the names of any of these private collectors?
There actually is one foundation. Actually, there's one other institution that's supposed to have it, the Penning Foundation in London.
Oh, well, that'll be handy.
And predictable. Patrick, hey!
Anyway.
Hey, you've got the contact with Armitage. Do you want to chase that?
Yeah, we could ask him if he's got a copy, or if he's seen it.
Or if he knows anything else relevant to this.
To the Bloody Tongue.
Yeah.
You can call him. He's not in his office.
Convenient.
Wait, we get to call him now, whereas before we had to send him a telegraph.
It has been a year since your last, or about 6 months since your last time. So yes.
Phone lines are much better now.
Phone lines are better now. Or you can telegraph. Yeah, he's not available right now, but he will get back to you. You leave him a number or ways to contact him.
I mean, does it really matter? I doubt he has a funny voice.
Yeah.
Actually, he probably does have a funny voice.
Yeah, I'm not going to try and do a Massachusetts accent.
Something akin to whispering in the darkness or something like
yeah,
that.
no.
So,
Have you guys seen that, by the way, the movie?
Which
The Whisper in the Darkness,
No.
the H.P. Lovecraft Historical Society.
oh yeah, that's going around.
Yeah, they're doing Lovecraft movies in the style of movies from back in the like they did Call of Cthulhu as a silent film, but they've also done Whisper in the Darkness as a talkie, like a 1930s black and white horror film. But, so it's pretty entertaining.
I thought the general ones did.
No,
Do we have a long
nothing.
rest?
You
It hasn't been 24 hours.
yeah,
yet.
well yeah, it's 24 hours since you use a physical ability. So anytime you go 24 hours without shooting or running or whatever, you can restore that. Anytime you get a chance to sleep or in a place of safety, you can fully refresh 3 general abilities. Those are
Anytime? I thought that was once per chapter.
once per. I'll just do that once per session.
Oh, well, okay then.
Investigative abilities obviously more limited.
So, but we did refresh stuff last time.
Yeah, that was the last time.
So-
I should actually.
Right.
I looked at the rules. So you're
So if we start by refreshing now, we'll have to go through the
you haven't
entire
had been
session. on
24
what we've
hours
got.
since you had. I mean, you had that action scene in getting the suitcase
Sure,
away
but-
from the bad guys.
Surely this is the next morning.
Yeah, this is the next morning.
So we could take our sleep
yeah.
rest now, but we only get one of those. Whereas if we manage to not have to do anything strenuous before the lecture tonight,
We can take a nap.
yeah.
And you got all your physical abilities back, except
Right.
for health and stability.
So let's just not do anything stupid.
Okay. Yeah. We'll see.
That'll work. Phone calls are great. It's
Yeah.
hard to get too physically worked up doing phone
So,
calls.
yeah, Melissa and Anne, are there any particular leads or questions you have, like things you're trying to figure out?
Well, we're waiting for what's-his-face to get back to us from London before we go there, correct?
Yes. Yeah, Patrick.
He's probably going to tell us that we need to go, though.
He will give you some background information on it, but he's not going to, like, break into the Foundation and, like, you know...
No, and I doubt that an Irishman is going to be able to walk up to a prestigious...
yeah,
place
anybody
in
who has a
London.
Foundation named after them is probably on the upper crust of
And
society.
if an Irishman is approaching within 20 yards, that's probably going to be stopped.
Call the dogs.
So, like, Anne, for example, you could contact Sylvie if you wanted to arrange a meeting with Roger Carlyle.
Do it.
Do I know her personally?
You've met her before, you're like friends of friends.
And do I know anything about the Stumbling Tiger Bar that is in Shanghai?
You could use oral history to talk to people in Chinatown.
Okay, I can do that.
Alright. So you can move there.
It's Chinatown. I promise not to do anything strenuous.
Is there a Chinatown in New York?
Yep.
There's
Chinatown
Chinatown.
in every big city.
Pretty much everywhere. I'll go with you, just on principle.
Really?
I'm gonna hook
You
up
don't
with
think the
Eric.
Chinese lady can handle herself in Chinatown, so big strong white man has to go with her?
It is the 20s.
I wonder which one's going to get targeted more.
You could go. I mean,
London,
basically, there are
incredibly
restaurants. You're not going to any I assume you're going today, and you're not going to any speakeasies or
No, I'm just going to go
opium
to
dens or
some
other.
Oh, I was hoping
tea
for a
houses
speakeasy.
and...
There
I'll
are
go talk to
speakeasies,
the
but
old
yet those
ladies.
are more dangerous, and it's more likely you would have to. Especially a well-dressed, couple walking in, obviously, with a high credit ratings probably draw more attention. But you're just going to a restaurant and talking to people in,
Couple of
Chinese.
tea
Gita,
houses.
what does the
And
scouter
Cantonese.
say?
Yeah, exactly.
His credit rating's over 9,000.
All right. So you spend a few hours asking people around. Are you coming up with any reason for why you're interested in this Stumbling Tiger Bar?
I'll say that I'm trying to get a hold of my sister that went there.
Yeah.
And the only thing I know is that she's working there.
Okay.
So I'm trying to
Oh,
find
well.
out where it is or...
You should
how
tell her
get in
to
contact.
try and get somewhere else. It's in that. It's near the river. It's near where the Wanghu and the Suqiao rivers meet. It's at that. It's a very what they say in America, red light district. Bars, gambling dens, opium dens, flower girl houses, near the docks and factories, and it's. Stumbling Tiger Bar is one of those places. It's some people go there to drink, but I've heard other people say it's one of the puzzle talk bars. People where information is also on the menu if you have money. All kinds of information. It's a dirty single room. Dirty, dark. They don't have much in the way of entertainment. It's just a nasty place. But if you want information, that's where you go. I mean, if your friend's there, she's probably working. I don't know what she would be doing there. They don't really have much in the way of entertainment. It's more of a business place, if you know what I mean.
Probably puzzle talk.
Yeah. That's what it says in the book. Anyways.
Only you had the companion here to tell you what puzzle talk really meant.
So,
on that note.
Yeah. So that's what you find out about it. And you get the exact address. So I will give you a bonus 3 points that you can spend whenever you're in the Shanghai bar district. On any roll to flee or hide, because he tells you stories about people getting robbed there, what you should do to avoid losing your purse or your life.
Make a good note of that. It might be a while before we have a chance to use those.
You can hop on a boat today. Yeah, that would probably be a good idea, but yeah.
Right. Okay. So yeah, I know it's been a year at this point, but. Yeah. The last time we left Shanghai was not under great circumstances.
No.
Really want to put that off as long as possible.
Well, it's a big city too. As long as you don't make a point, you can introduce yourselves with new names. I mean, to the people of Shanghai, all white people look alike. So
I'm not shaving the mustache.
Yeah. Well, that might make it a little harder.
Will you at least not wear the collar?
Can I wear it underneath?
Fine, turtlenecks it is.
I can grow a beard.
Get right on that.
Yeah.
That'll take a day.
So, Anne, are you going to arrange to have tea with Erica Carlyle?
Yes.
Okay. Let's see here. Are you going to... Is this going to be are you going to just ask Sylvie to make it a pure social call? Or are you going to be like, no, I really want to talk about the Carlyle expedition, which...
Are you going to go in alerting her that you're going to traumatize her, or are we going to pull it on her as a surprise?
Well, yeah, that's another thing. You can also do research on Erica Carlyle. You could actually, if you have any interpersonal skills, you could ask Sylvie about it.
Is she Catholic?
Sylvie?
Erica?
No, she's definitely...
Didn't think so. It was worth a shot.
She's definitely a wasp.
Would reassurance be useful?
Oh, sure. No, that would work. For 0 points, you don't have to make any spends. You still lose your friend. She tells you that Erica is very level-headed. She's Roger spent more of his time spending the family fortune than keeping the family fortune intact. Erica, since his disappearance, Erica's turned the family fortune around. She has a very big hulking bodyguard who used to work for the mob, apparently, and keeps out intruders and people who would pester about it. So, what other questions would you have? So she seems to be very smart and clever and level-headed, not someone who would easily be traumatized. And certainly, she seems to be kind of great. Sylvie kind of gives you the impression she's secretly grateful that her brother, disappeared before he ruined the family's standing and fortune.
Okay,
but not that she would ever say that.
Does she know if she's made any public statements or interview kind of things where she's?
She doesn't talk to the press about it. She has been very careful about that, except, she's been very separate from it. What else do you want to know about it? So, yeah, she hasn't spoken about it in public. You know that.
All right.
So she has mentioned some things offhand to friends, but she does have a confidant. You find out a Mr. Bradley Gray, a partner at the law firm of Dunstan, Whittleby, and Gray on West 57th Street. His name comes up a lot in the newspapers. especially in the business section, especially with deals with the Carlyle of Fortune. So she's been focused mostly ever since Roger disappeared, focusing on staying rich and and being richer. So
okay, do we know anything
she's also single. So
about a Victoria Post?
Victoria Post.
Yes.
Well, it always could be.
But paper it says it's her companion who went to Nairobi with her.
Oh yes. Sylvie actually does mention, oh yes, it's quite scandalous. Roger was going with an African woman. That was a pseudonym. She was some sort of princess or queen or something. Erica met her once or twice, but calls her the foreigner. She's just, very disdainful of her. I don't think she knew her real name, but she knew something about her. This woman enthralled Roger. It was quite scandalous.
The foreigner.
Yes.
It's the 20s.
That's yeah. In the 20s, there's far worse.
Yeah, no, there is. But yeah, so Roger was hooking up with some African woman thing. So Victoria would probably be a pseudonym. So that's your find out from your friend Sylvie. If you want to get more, you can ask Erica. So are you going to ask Erica if you want to talk about that? Or are you just going, no, hey, what's going on? I've had the craziest time in L.A.,
I think I'm going to be direct. I'm going to tell her what I actually know.
Okay. So Sylvie, you want to talk to her? Are you telling Sylvie to tell Erica that? Or are you just going to, when you show up, be like, hey, Erica, I want to talk about this?
Well, can I bring Sylvie with me?
Yeah. No, Sylvie's coming with you. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But do you want Sylvie to tell her ahead of time? Like, we want to have tea and talk about the expedition. Or you're just like, hey, we're going to have tea. And then when you get there, you're like, hey, talking about...
Guess what?
I'm going to warn her. Because I don't know if she's going to give me any more information if I spring
okay. Sylvie messaged back, is this... you're obviously not writing a book or anything. I've heard you...
No, we're indirectly interested. A friend of ours was trying to find out more about the case, and he was murdered. So we're trying to help solve his murder.
You spend up on your credit rating, and your prestige and social standing will be enough that they believe you. So...
time credit rating is like an interpersonal.
Yeah.
So
Actually, it's pretty frequently.
Just waving the cash in front of myself.
Well, no, it's just basically like, are you...
you're rich, you must be okay.
You're not a rabble rouser. You're all right.
So basically, she lights a roll of $500 bills.
No, she buys a new dress to go to
There
tea.
you
Okay.
So, yes.
There you go.
And a new clutch.
Well, yeah, it's a given. Okay.
So you go to Erica's mansion.
And a tiny dog?
The Westchester County estate is half an hour north of New York on the Hudson River. As you drive north, you see Sing Sing Prison off in the distance. On the way, the Carlyle estate it consists of an elegant 3-story mansion and 5 acres of superb grounds, all guarded by 12 feet tall iron fences topped with sharpened finials.
Because Sing Sing is next door.
There are, well, not next door, but on the way, kind of like the medical prison is. You can see it on the way going up. Yeah.
So it's next door.
Yeah. I guess by rules.
Well, the medical prison, not so much.
You see armed men patrolling the grounds, even during the day.
Yeah.
So there are other servants around. You can, it's a very well defended estate. So as you go in there with Sylvie. Sylvie is, of course, totally oblivious to all that. It's like, it's just so elegant. I love going here. It's just, so nice. You're far away from the maddening crowds, don't you think?
Yes. It's lovely, Sylvie.
All right. So...
Wow.
Yeah.
I can see why you two are friends.
Sylvie's a good friend, but yeah, there are times you can get annoyed. So you get there. Erica's, of course, they serve tea, ask you what kind you want if you want sugar in them. Or she has a servant do it, obviously. But are you just going to go in with the questions, or are you just going to small talk for a little bit? Like, so, like, how are you approaching this? Basically, you're initiative now.
Well, since we've met before, I just kind of want to ease into it, get a feel for how comfortable she is with me, and see if she's very talkative or kind of aloof.
Do you have assess honesty?
I do not.
Okay.
Did I go with her?
Probably not.
That would have been kind of weird.
Why would a Catholic
random priest friend?
Yeah. Your elderly Catholic priest is...
Could be an uncle.
You would have to take the collar off. Could your character bear that?
No, an elderly Catholic uncle who's a priest.
But I'm not Catholic.
Yeah, she probably would not be less open.
And it was traumatic for the entire family.
I'd say no. You would not. They would be... She would not... I would say if you went, she would not open up. Because again, she does know Margot. Because you haven't met before.
Worth a shot.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Can I throw an assess honesty point her way?
Yeah, sorry.
Like, give her some tips.
There's no PC behind mine.
Or depending on.
You need a magic spell for telepathy. So,
does she look to the left when she talks?
She. Well, do you have any interpersonal skills in one of you?
Keep spending reassurance.
So you can't get a read on her without assessing honesty.
I do have reassurance. Would that help, though?
Yeah, you could reassure that this will be private, whatever you tell her.
Oh yeah, I don't plan to go to
and that this is for out there. So you're saying that you said you wanted to solve the murder, but you're not wanting to go to the press, right?
Yes, it's not for public knowledge. This is just to help me solve this case. And I don't even have to tell people that the information came from you.
Well, yes, it is. She says, "Well, I had one of my servants look up, and I found out that you were acquainted with this murdered man, Jackson Elias. The reason we're sort of concerned about this is we've had people break into the Westchester estate here." To the library, which Roger favored. So I think there were some sort of former associates of Roger's who were trying to pilfer some of his goods to sell in the black market or something. But so we were very cautious. But obviously, if you're trying to, you have an outstanding reputation character. So if you think you can put it into these brigands, I'll help.
Well, I'd be happy to look into those. They sound like they could be related to our case.
Yes. To be honest, Roger's excesses were
excessive,
draining on the entire family, and he was going to be the ruin of us all. It is. He was alive. He ruined our interests, our investments by draining them of operating capital. He was just brutish. And he wouldn't even give me. I just told him I'd give him an allowance if you let me make sure that we would have, a company left to use. But he refused it. It was because of that foreigner. And since then, since his death, which was bizarre from what I understand, it was. No, he was quite tall actually. Our company's done much better, but this was more than just another one of his foolish whims. He had many foolish whims. Even in college, when he was in California, he actually, for some reason, heard of a man killing another man in a barroom brawl, and went to his defense and got him acquitted. And that murderer became his bodyguard. It was quite the kind of person he was. But this was much more serious than that. The foreigner. Just, for lack of a better word, drove Roger mad. He was obsessed with her, and she would take him to these places in Harlem that he wouldn't speak of, but he was just different after being there. Not some sort of ragtime, but. After that, he spot of going back to her homeland. He and that's why they went back to Africa. It was some sort of this mumbo jumbo she was getting him wrapped up in, some sort of occultish nonsense. I even had him go to Dr. Robert Houston to talk him out of this madness, but Robert thought he was he wound up. Robert, he went with them because he thought he could treat Roger on the way and cure him gradually. So it was a foreigner who drove my poor brother to madness. I know nothing of her except that I believe she was from Kenya, not from Egypt. Although I heard her claim that she was a reincarnated Egyptian pharaoh or princess, or all that. That nonsense runs together.
And you don't know what name she went by?
She had aliases. I know. I couldn't keep track of them. The police, I think, wanted her. I wouldn't be surprised if they did, if they knew who she was. Con artists like that. Yes. She, so that's her statement to you. And if you have any other questions? You could use skills to give you ideas. Do you have oral history?
I do not. I have just flattery, intimidation.
Yeah, you don't want to intimidate her. You don't want to go all Batman on her.
Just breaking our arm while doing something.
Swear to me.
Can I ask, do you believe how they ruled his death? Do you believe that was what really happened?
I received reports that it was brutal. There was nothing left of his body. That it was, that it was worse. That they kept back details, but I think they wouldn't tell me much because I'm a woman and I just faint. So, but they all assured me he was quite dead. And it was very savage. But do you have evidence collection?
One.
That's for 0. You realize you could ask her about other members of the expedition. She's probably met them.
Yeah. So, do you know Aubrey Penhew or Passion?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sir Penhew. Actually, he was Englishman. I actually never met him. I did. He was an Egyptologist, from what I understand. And I think we sent several checks to the foundation, so I think he was...
The Penhew Foundation?
Yes, the Penhew Foundation. So I think he latched onto Roger to fund his research into Egyptology.
Is that what the Penhew Foundation does?
You do not know.
Oh, she doesn't know?
No.
Oh.
She only knows... only know that they sent them money. Roger sent him money. It was certainly a common factor in Roger's life. All his friends always needed money. They were all such poor darlings. They needed payoffs now and then.
And Dr. Robert Houston was a psychologist then?
Yes, he's a very handsome man, actually. He was very sensitive and perceptive. He was very good doctor. But he went with Roger in order to continue his treatment of him. But I guess he was also, his professional pride got the best of him. He was trying to write a paper on Rogers, or treating him of this pathology or whatever you'd call it. And it got the best of him.
Do you know if anyone came back from that expedition?
No. Pathia and Brady and the rest of them all perished along. I've heard rumors that 1 or 2 members survived, one of the porters, one of the servants survived, but that they've been hunted down and killed by the savages there to keep their secrets. But certainly none of the people who actually mattered, not the locals. Yeah.
Say the only people.
The other thing, if you're wondering, as for the thing is, we could adjourn to the library. I could show you. We have Rogers did have some books that So you look through there, you can see there is a, let's see, massive selection of books. But we saw people, the windows, that you notice the windows are barred. You see these bars are a recent addition. 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, someone broke in and some of the books were found scattered about the ground. They must have. We hadn't completed an inventory of the library, so they might have made off a volume or two. But we have rare books here that are quite valuable, but they ignored them for looking at in the books of the occult, Roger's books. So I think his associates were looking for something. But you, if you think there's any, I've actually, you can give me a point of library use if you have it.
I do not.
Well, yep, them books.
Dad can have it.
Does Erica know anything about the books? She doesn't really know anything.
I'm actually considered selling off the books. We have some interested buyers, so we're in the process of talking with them. They're quite pricey, but we'd have to do an inventory of everything first. Sort them by, rarity and author and all that. As you look through there, you can see, leather-bound complete editions of Dickens, Bulwer Lytton, Mrs. Radcliffe, Emerson. George Washington Cable.
Look out, boys! He has the power of transcendentalism.
Yes, exactly.
So recently, the break-ins, were they successful?
No. Well, we don't know. We don't think so. They mostly focus on the north wall of the library. You look there. There's a large case filled with old reference works in English and French.
Without library use, can I see if one of them is titled Africa's Roots?
Yes, you can, and there's not.
Okay.
There's not that book. Do you have any academic skills that might be useful? Is research a separate skill? I might be mixing
I
it
don't
up.
think I have an academics as cryptography.
Actually, something does pop. Cryptography, I'd allow to spend, actually.
Oh, okay.
Because one of these things is not like the other. And that is a book of Poe, who you know, and you grab it and look at it, and
A book of Poe.
Yes. You flip through it is a series of numbers, and you recognize those series of numbers. 3 numbers, each 2-digit long, as a safe combination.
Can I take that down?
You can memorize it. It's pretty easy to memorize that. But with your knowledge of cryptography and secrets, you would think there might be a hidden safe somewhere. Roger might have installed a safe somewhere on in the mansion.
I wonder what part of the mansion.
Yeah. So, where are you looking first?
I don't know.
Or the cellar. Oh, you don't have to use the skill to do this. If you just tell me where you want to look, I can give you a yes or no if you find it.
Okay. Can I look over on the north area?
The place where you just pulled the book? Yes, you can.
Look through.
In fact, you look behind. You look after you realize that. You look up to see the place where the book was, and you see a small panel which can be pulled open. Behind the panel is a button. Do you push the button? Erica and Sylvia are here. They've actually started talking about fashion.
So they'll be distracted for a while.
They'll be distracted for a minute, but probably if you
bust open the wall, they're going to notice.
Yeah.
I will furtively push the button.
You will push a button?
Sure.
Furtive button.
All right, you do. If
yes.
anything drastic happens, they will notice. I mean, there's no way if there's a hidden safe behind that wall, they will notice when it pops open. So if you want to reveal it to them, that's fine. But that's.
I don't know when I'd come back.
That's a good question.
So.
It might be worth telling Sylvie so she would, or not Sylvie, Erica, so she would at least know why the break-in attempts have been focusing there.
This is true.
I'll push the button.
Okay, you push the button.
I pushed a button.
It pushed the button. The entire case slides aside. Several feet to reveal the safe behind.
Look what I found, guys.
Erica, it is your this is something like from a novel. I can't believe this. This is marvelous. Oh, isn't she ever so clever? I told you, Margot. They both look there. There is a safe. Are you going to use the combination you found in there?
Sure. I'm going to tell them what I'm doing. Like, hey, you guys, maybe this combo will work. Wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah. All right. You do so. You open up. There are 4 books within there. There is one in English that is the Narcotic Manuscripts.
I've already got one of those.
I've got that.
It could be another copy of it, or it could be another edition of that, which would have different information in it. There's another one in French, so you do see at the beginning, Selections de Livre d'Ivan. Livre.
Livre's books.
Yeah. So if you had French, you could figure out what.
I have 2 extra languages.
If you want to do that. Another one is in English. It is actually made of metal. And actually, you've seen it has a tear on it. Like it's half of a book that was cut in half. Made of metal. Yes. Then there's another one in English called titled Life as a God.
Well.
Nyarlathotep, a memoir.
There is you look at the title page, it is written by a Montgomery Crompton. Has a date of 1805 on it. So anyways, there's 4 books. Erica's quite startled. What do you want to do?
Erica.
Yes.
So, these books
Yes.
are tied to our investigation.
Yes.
Could I borrow them?
Well, I mean, I must have them appraised first. They must stay on the. I must call Niles. Niles, get in here. Please call the book collector, the antiquarian. We must have these appraised and photographed, documented for insurance.
Or could I bring someone?
Do you have your own experts?
I do, and then you could leave them here if you would feel more
you can bring
comfortable
them
with
here, of course. Niles will make the arrangements with you, but I must have these documented, of course.
that makes sense.
There are these might be substantially. Obviously, Roger thought these were quite important.
The antiquarian's disappeared.
If I leave, make sure this is locked.
Of course.
And guard it.
There are armed men here at all times.
Okay, I think this is why you have break-ins.
Yes. Somewhere in Sean's character's like, what?
Something is happening.
Yeah. Antiquarian sense. Tingling.
All right, so good job. You can call them up. So you find out, there's 4 books, including the other half of People of the Monolith. So Omri is like, did they find my book?
Who's with Omri?
Omri, the white-haired woman.
I guess I'm with Omri.
Yeah,
You guys went to Chinatown, so you left me alone with the crazy woman.
Yes.
Of course, I'm the
the
only one
office gets a call. You answer, or would you let Omri answer?
Hey, Monsignor.
Don't let her use a phone.
I got some books you'd be interested in.
Oh, great! And then,
Did they find something? They found something, didn't they?
I don't know yet. I don't know exactly.
No, I'm very certain
Bring
they
some
found
paper
something.
for some rubbings. For the metal book.
The metal book?
Hey-o.
Don't tell Omri that, though.
The phone is very loud, apparently.
I can still hear it.
It is the 20s.
Okay, Omri, you can come with me.
Okay.
Dude.
Anyway, so Simon, I guess you would probably. What are you doing this?
They're still.
You're in Chinatown.
We're in Chinatown.
So, you guys found out a lot about the Stumbling Tiger Bar and the many dangers of the worst. You were kind of that was actually not the kind of part of Shanghai you really hang out in. You were the better class of nightclubs and neighborhoods. It was interesting to hear those stories. So you go back to the office. Sean's probably getting ready to go.
Packing up to go upstate. I guess somebody needs to stick around to go to the lecture that
Well, I mean,
totally won't get anyone murdered.
We can't do
Well,
anything.
that's at 8 p.m. What time is it now?
Right, it's probably 1 in the afternoon, something like that.
We have time.
You guys can all come to the experts if you want.
Yeah, I suppose it's probably unlikely that we'll...
And then if
Does
we're
someone
running
else
late,
have
we can
library
split up.
Stuff?
I don't
Is it
have
just
any
a-
library. I have lots
I
of
do.
interpersonal, which may be useful at some point, but I don't have
Yeah.
a library.
Yeah.
I have a library use and an occult, so
yeah.
Sean and I will pretty much take the case.
I also have anthropology
Yeah.
and history and 6 languages. So,
All right, so all of you head up to the Westchester Mansion.
Yep.
It takes you to, you get there around 3, I'll say. Take you about 2 hours to coordinate.
Okay, so we've got about 3 hours
Yeah.
to do things.
The selection, it is apparently, the French book is apparently a French commentary on a Latin book, the Book of Ivan, or Ivan, which is, so it's apparently, it's commentating about another book, another grimoire. It is written by a medieval French alchemist who is talking about how he's a much better alchemist and wizard than the original author.
It's like an occult Josephus.
Yeah, it's like the Cliff's Note to a book that you don't have. So,
I'm really glad you like that.
the Narcotic Manuscripts is not the same edition that you've read, so there's different material.
Sorry, I think I broke Sean.
Yes, no, it's fine. The most interesting book is actually Life is God. So you start reading that.
Go
It
figure.
is written by Montgomery Crompton, an English artist. Okay.
That's not a name.
Back in 1805 it was.
No.
Yeah, Montgomery.
Straight out of Crompton, yo.
Yes. You start reading it, and
We have scissors.
it is.
If you'd like some scissors, we have.
Yeah.
Apparently, I'm very aggressive in the page turning while I'm reading the book.
Yes. Sorry, staring up
The
handouts.
pages are tearing as we read them.
oh God, somebody has horrible handwriting.
Yeah, that is not that handout. That's the other one. Because you flip through it, and he seems to be talking about being a priest of the Brotherhood of the Black Pharaoh, which sets off some warning bells in your head. And the book is actually bound in leather. Anybody
That's
have
not. Anybody have what?
evidence collection or forensics?
Yup.
You can.
Would anthropology work?
I don't know anthropology. Yeah,
Okay, I'll spend an anthropology. I
that's
never get to
human
use it.
skin.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
But you also find an interesting passage.
No stability check for that? Kind of
Um,
amazed.
yeah, it's been a while. It's
Didn't have to bring it up, though.
Whatever.
He talks about he narrates. You're skimming it through the afternoon. It narrates all manners of unspeakable acts committed before the Pharaoh of Darkness. In particular, the diary mentions a throne room of the Black Pharaoh, which is this. So it seems to be in the diary are graphic descriptions of murder, sacrifices, and other atrocities. In order to continue reading it, you will have to make a stability check. But skimming it will.
What if I read really fast?
Or
Or if I set it on the table while I read it, not touch it?
it provides skimming it. You get a 1-point pool of archaeology that you can use in Egypt.
What do I get for reading it?
That's what you get for reading it. So you get that handout for skimming it, and apparently he's talking about Egypt a lot in the occult in Egypt. So
Oh, with the Black Pharaoh and all that.
yeah, so
Oh,
1 point of
yeah, so-
archaeology that can only be used in Egypt.
Okay. So I will circle it as special.
So yes, you can do that. Let's see here. So the other books, you spend the rest of the hours cataloging it. The people of the monolith. Omri's very interested in that, obviously. She speaks very little. Erica and Sylvie leaves, by the way. She has a pressing social engagement, of course.
Thank
But
goodness.
Erica leaves you to it. She is kind of your group is kind of you've traveled in interesting circles, Marco. And how did you meet the Are you dressed as? Are you wearing the collar and everything?
That's underneath.
Okay. Certainly interesting.
So I just look old.
Yeah. Scholar, very eclectic group of friends.
You meet interesting people when you travel the world.
That is true. I should have to do more of that if my business didn't keep me so busy. So you, it'll take you more time to continue reading it. But the selections it's hard to make. Well, unless you have French, you can't even read it.
I have French.
Okay, if you have French, it's medieval French, so it's still pretty hard to read. But it keeps referring back to a book that it quotes sometimes, but sometimes it doesn't. So you have to get this book of Ebon or the book of Ebon, which is in Latin. So you have to.
I also have Latin,
right? But you need the original book.
It's just talking at it. It's not.
Yeah, it's talking like, oh, look at this book. I can do better than this book, basically.
Look at my horse.
But,
this is amazing.
You spend the afternoon reading it. So it's coming to the time of the lecture. So Erica has basically left you to. So she does ask you around 6. So have you assessed the value of these books yet? Do you think have you had enough time to ascertain their value, or why the people would be like? Obviously, they must have been breaking them in to sell them just an unscrupulous collector. What do you think?
I actually don't think it's for an unscrupulous collector. I think these may be.
More of that occult mumbo jumbo?
Yeah, occult mumbo jumbo. I don't know that the books are really worth anything. I think that it's mostly just fanatics that really want this for their rituals based on what we've seen so far.
Oh, my.
Especially this metal one. I think that it might just be fanatics that would like to.
Well, I'm having another professional appraisal from Sotheby's coming in. An expert's coming in tomorrow for that, but it would be good to have a secondary expert opinion on it.
So, either way, we're not leaving with the book.
Did we bring the other half of the metal book?
I did.
Okay. Have we tried, like, He-Manning them, see if they just mystically rejoin themselves?
Talking, so
oh, sorry.
We'll do it now.
Okay, you can do it now.
He's not talking
I
now.
assume he's been Are you going to...
Can I see if they connect?
Okay. Is it anybody else watching them do this?
Sure.
All right.
It's interesting.
Sort of
Stability
standing.
checks.
Give me stability checks.
So what do we roll? What do we?
It's a D6. You need to get a 4 or better.
One.
I have a 3.
One.
All right, it's
I make it.
It's
And I have
unnatural,
whatever.
but it's not the worst thing. It's just so bizarre you couldn't believe it. The metal heals, and it becomes 1. So you lose 1 stability point as you see metal flow like water and then take a fixed shape again. An alien science that you could not even...
Is Erica in the room?
Would you do that while she's in the room? If not, I will roll a
Will she
D6.
pass out if we do it in front of her?
Odds are even. Odds she will not be in there, or whatever you say will and she'll not be in there.
Wait,
odds are,
what?
Say odds are even. Odds are even.
I'd rather she be in the room.
Okay.
And
What?
All right. If you're going to have her in the room, she's in the room.
Okay.
She's like her eyes. Let's see if she makes it. She does
Not. Yes.
She is speechless, and she
Pass out. Pass out.
No, she doesn't pass out. She
Why
says,
does she pass out?
"No, I'll call the metallurgist. We must see how this could be."
How many different experts do
Rich.
you have in your employ?
She has interest in many fields. We must. The munitions factory will be glad to have a new research project. This is.
At this point, I pull down, expose the collar, and say, I think this book is possessed, and I think I need to take it and do an exorcism on it. Otherwise, your house is facing grave danger.
I acknowledge your opinion there, Father. It is still my property. I will have the metallurgist examine it.
We did recently come into a money unit.
I know.
We could just buy the damn thing off of her.
Well, now that you've demonstrated it has superhuman qualities, that might be harder to do.
Because I thought I could get her to give it up. in different ways. I thought she would pass out.
She's sort of the cold and rational type. She's not the easily swayed by emotion or religion type.
I did reveal that she basically was glad that her brother's dead, so yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean she wouldn't pass out if, like, a demon popped out or something.
A demon didn't pop out.
Yeah.
You
actually find, I will say, there is since you speak French, there is something about summoning a demon in the selections of the Lever de Avon.
Because that'll end well.
Yeah, no. If you want to scare her, you can crank it up.
Do we want to go there?
No, but you do know that she will not.
Summon a demon
The
to make
book will
somebody
definitely
think.
stay here overnight. She's not going to take. This is the most secure place she has. Her mansion is basically a fortress now. So Omri is, of course. Yes.
Ooh, can we stick Omri on her?
Omri is. We should go to the lecture. No, the book is not. We should go to the lecture.
Wait, you don't care about the book anymore, Omri?
We should go to the lecture.
Oh, I get it.
I'm suddenly
Let's go to the lecture. Everybody, who's going with me?
Are we pretty well done here?
Unless you want to stay here. I mean, Erica's not going to kick you out because it is. But obviously, she realizes that at least the people of the monolith is extremely valuable.
And
Do we stay long enough to see where she puts it?
She puts it back in the safe now that she has a combination for it.
That we also.
I have it memorized.
Yeah, Margaret. Yeah.
Just check.
So she closes it up. She calls up extra guards, so her mansion will be lit up.
But Omri said, let's go to the lecture.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, there are no more reasonable spins here to be made, just to be completely metagame about it.
Well, I mean, if you want to make suggestions, you could. But
is there anything left
you
to
can
ring
come
out with
back.
an
I mean,
occult?
that's the thing. The what?
An occult?
Oh, well, if you give me an idea of what you want to, what kind of information you're looking for, there's nothing that you can just fish out.
Right.
But you know what the books are. You've skimmed all of them in a couple hours, and
I had a question about them.
Sure.
Oh, go ahead.
The only other bit of information that you found out that Margot found out is Dr. Robert Houston treated Roger before the expedition, so as a psychoanalysis, as a doctor, he would have files on him that would be somewhere in the...
Yeah.
And this is before HIPAA, so...
Yeah, so it's just B&E. It's not... Yeah.
So there's more information you could find out about Roger if you wanted to figure out where those files are and get a hold of them. But obviously Erica wouldn't know where those are.
Are we outside of the door yet?
You could be.
Okay. Are Omri and I outside the
I
door?
want to
Sure.
ask my question.
Oh, yeah,
A
okay.
metal book. You said it was in English?
Life is a God? Or
No,
The metal book is not.
People of the Monolith? Yes, it is in English.
Wait, before I thought it was in stuff we couldn't read.
Some of it is in English, some of it is in alien symbols. The alien symbols look like graphics or...
bilingual.
Yeah.
It's the Voynich manuscript.
Yeah.
Copied on the metal.
So were we able to read the English part then?
You were able to read the English parts. It talks about...
People.
Yeah.
Monolith.
Actually, talks about the people who worship monoliths in Europe. But it also talks about time as a four-dimensional aspect of the universe. And gets into weird physics aspects very quickly.
Okay.
Again, the Masked Companion has a whole thing about it, but I actually forgot to bring my iPad. So background, you get that background information that I will give to you next time I had that. But Omri seems to have picked up a lot more out of it. So she's very like,
We can talk later.
Well, it's fine.
Yeah.
We brought an archive.
Yeah,
Here, we put it in our Crazy Lady holocron.
basically. Any other questions?
I have questions for Omri as soon as we're away.
All right, so on the way back, you're driving back. Omri's like, we should. I can contact somebody one of the people who is connected with the book. I can contact one of the writers of the book.
Which writer? Be very specific, Omri. Which writer?
It's hard to understand, but they're not connected to the ones that you're afraid of.
Which writer, Omri?
I will do that because I think I need to. I keep seeing my name in there, in the symbols that aren't English, but maybe I'm just reading it wrong. I really need to do that. But I'll do that while you go to the lecture. And then you can meet me. There will be
Why don't you go to the lecture with us first?
No, I think I should do that.
I think you can do that with us.
No, I'll be fine. I can sense them,
I think you should wait.
I can sense the serpents of the crawling chaos.
I think you should wait, Omri.
I can smite them, too.
Oh, she got the thing, huh?
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you should wait.
You can't keep me.
No, I'm not trying to keep you. I just think you would enjoy the lecture.
No.
Can I spend
I don't think you're going to win this one.
Can I spend a point of reassurance to convince her that
she has her mind made up? She really wants to try.
One person could stay with Omri, or 2 people could stay with Omri.
You can come with me if you want.
And people could go to the lecture.
I'm gonna die. Dumb ways to die.
Just sit outside the door and listen in. You don't have to be
You
in
pay
there
your money, you
when it
take your
happens.
chance.
I think I need to stay with Omri.
You do that.
See you in a few hours.
Lecture away. Hey, so metagame-wise, the lecture that time means it's been about 24 hours since we were last physically exerted.
You can. Everyone's
Neat.
Everything's what?
all your physical abilities.
Good, just in time.
Athletics, fleeing.
Disguise?
I'll allow disguise. Yeah.
Psychoanalysis.
Psychoanalysis, no. It's definitely
Preparedness?
not a physical
Oh,
thing.
no. So when does
Preparedness?
No, it's not physical.
when does psychoanalysis
First
ever
aid?
regenerate?
There's a specific list. It's like
Okay.
athletics, scuffling, fleeing. Disguise. Actually, I think, maybe I'm more about disguise.
It ought to be. We went back by the office. You put some fresh makeup in your kit.
Yeah.
There. Done.
What about firearms and weapons?
Those are physical. Right?
Why is
Firearms and
cosmetics
weapons.
physical?
Nobody's saying that it isn't yet.
Find out your question. General abilities. Sorry. All right.
It's all good.
Athletics, driving, firearms, fleeing, piloting, riding, scuffling, and weapons. Just those.
Oh, wow.
So there's stealth is shit.
Nope. Apparently not.
You know, I can see how that physical thing is a little misleading.
Yeah.
Because, shadowing? Oh, well.
That means I only have 1 prepared and stuff. So that's for the rest of the game?
Until you get, next time you heal, once per session, you can refresh up to 3 general abilities of your choice, except for health, sanity, and stability.
So at some point we really need to have a sit down and do that, at any rate.
But yeah. No, I mean, we're learning the system. Learning the quirks. This is actually the longest, continuing Gumshoe game Tribes of Choke here, but that was
A different-
very different system. So anyways, the lecture.
Yes. Should be most entertaining.
Professor Anthony Carlyle in a half-crowded, half-filled lecture hall. It is... Let's see here. Talks to...
Talks to Wangs.
Yeah, talks to a bunch of university students. New York University. He talks about the Australians, the occult in Australia. So, first he talks about a bat cult that existed among the Aboriginals of Australia. He was known across the continent, and the god of the cult was always known as the father of bats. Adherents believed that by making human sacrifices to their gods, that they themselves would become worthy that the father of all bats would appear to them. Once he was enticed to appear, he would conquer all men. Sacrifices were run through a gauntlet of worshippers who struck the victims with clubs embedded with the sharp teeth of bats. Victims were coated with substance derived from rabid bats. The poison was quick-acting. The victims went mad before they died. Leaders of the cult reportedly could take the shape of bat-winged snakes, enabling them to steal sacrifices from across the land.
Flying sex snakes.
Cowles, the professor believed the cult became dormant or extinct hundreds of years ago. Its former existence is the reason that he became interested in Jackson Elias' books about present-day cults. Secondly, an Aboriginal song cycle mentions a place where enormous beings gathered somewhere in the west of Australia. The songs say that these gods were not at all like men, built great sleeping walls and dug great caves. But living winds blew down the gods and overthrew them, destroying their camp. When this happened, all the way was open for the father of all bats who came into the land and grew strong. He also shows everyone a set of 4 overexposed glass slides. Each shows a few sweating men standing beside enormous blocks of stone, pitted and eroded, but clearly dressed and formed for architectural purposes. Dim carvings seem to decorate some. Billows of sand are everywhere. Though he did not bring back the book with him, Cal said that the discoverer, one Arthur McWhirr of Port Hedland, kept a diary in which he recorded several attacks on the party by the Aboriginals. McWhirr reportedly recorded deaths to victims from hundreds of small punctures, reminiscent of the earlier bat cult. Finally, Cowles talks of a tale he collected from near the Arafura Sea in northern Australia. It is in it the sand bat, or father of all bats, has a battle of wits with Rainbow Snake, the Aboriginal deification of water and the patron of life. Rainbow Snake succeeds in tricking and trapping Sandbat and his clan into the depths of a watery place from which Sandbat can only complain and is unable to return to trouble the people. So that is what you talk about. Oh, that is what he talks about in the next for the hour and a half. So
now I understand why the Australia segment is kind of optional.
Yes. Anyway.
Yeah.
That's a big old pile of weird.
Yeah, it is a big old pile of weird.
It also sounds very...
Yeah. So, Father, you go out with Omri. She has produced a map of New York.
Now I'm very worried about who she's calling.
Yeah, and she gets out a pen, and she spreads the map out on a wall.
Wait, we gave her a sharp, pointy object?
You don't remember not giving it to her. You don't know exactly where she got it.
Cthulhu.
Yeah. And she starts drawing those symbols that you see in the book, those sort of geometric shapes on the map. And she starts muttering to herself, and she starts drawing it over and over again. But she is clearly making some kind of diagram, or eventually she says, okay, there. All right, we need to go to Central Park first, yes. Let's just go.
At this time of night?
We'll be fine.
Okay. Do I still have my gun?
I would assume so.
Take a flashlight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For the love of everything, take a flashlight.
I have 2 flashlights just to make dang sure.
All right. So you head in there. So you walk. So you take
dual-wielding flashlights.
streetcar or a subway to Central Park, and she walks around in the dark. You do see she steps over a drunk without looking at him.
It's New York.
Yeah. Well, you didn't even notice him until she stepped over him.
Like I said, it's New York.
And then she stops at a tree between a fork in the road, or in the path, basically, and she puts the map on it again. She starts drawing more diagrams on it. As you're doing that, you can give me a sense trouble check.
I will add 2.
All right,
that would be a 6.
You do see a group of 3 men coming your way. They look kind of up to no good.
Do they look to you? Do they have prongas?
Not that you can see. No.
Well, if they have prongas, I'd see the prongas.
You would see the prongas, yes.
Okay. Assumably.
Yeah. Anyways.
They look like they're up to no good.
Yeah, they are looking around. In fact, one of them seems to be leading the other 2. And
leading them where?
Towards towards the tree where Omri is put the map up against.
It's fine. They're just from the Bowery.
She stops and looks at her and says, could you hold them off for a second? I'm almost done here.
That's not encouraging.
The one in the front is he is tainted with the darkness.
Oh, so just the one in the front.
Yes, but the others are his pawns. You should kill them.
Thanks for that insight, Omri.
Okay.
Good job role-playing, Caleb.
Let's see. Do I have any explosives with me?
That would be preparedness check. That would be
You have a gun.
Okay, I don't have explosives.
You do not have explosives with me.
It was worth a shot.
So are they.
Exactly. So, I have my... Do I have the sawed-off shotgun?
That would be preparedness check, because that's a little more... All right, yeah.
I have the sawed-off shotgun.
Good job.
So,
Maybe.
question. Do I want to issue a warning, or do I just want to blast? What time is it?
It's 9 o'clock now.
How many people are in the park?
Just you. It seems like it's dark. It's in January, so, you know.
Okay, I'm going to shoot.
All right.
I'll add... What's the spray range on the sawed-off?
It's pretty wide. It's a sawed-off.
Am I going to get all three of them?
Maybe. Well, you have to get closer. They're kind of far away at this point from the sawed-off.
How far are they?
They're like 50 feet away.
Wait till you see the whites of their
Okay, well, can I wait, have it ready so that as
Sure.
soon as they get
You
within...
might as well shout a warning then.
Okay. Hey, you guys. Stay where you are unless you want to be pumped full of lead.
All right. They stop and look at you.
Meanwhile, there's nothing covering my collar, so I'm pointing to that and holding the sawed-off shotgun.
Okay. Oh.
Sure what that's
So
going to
they're
be.
very
I guess we'll find out.
confused.
You getting, are you drunk, Father? You seem to be lost. This ain't a church. You ain't no priest. Priests don't carry guns.
Irish priests do, my son.
All right, why don't you just drop the piece and walk over to us? Come on.
What do you want with us?
Us? Oh, hey, there she is. Yeah, I told you. White hair. It's easy. Anyway, yeah. Come on, just walk away, Father.
Are they within range?
Long range for a sawed-off. So you stop them about 50 feet away.
Don't do it. Wait for it.
I'm waiting until they move closer.
Well, they stopped because you pointed a gun at them.
Okay.
But they have started. They're sort of like
Look, boys.
walking. They're one's walking around to your left and one's walking around to your right. So they're circling around you.
Back up.
Okay, I'm backing up a little bit.
You're backing up.
Stay where you are, boys, or I'm going to blow
we're
a
staying.
hole
We're
in
keeping
you.
our distance.
No, quit moving. I see you guys. I'm not blind.
You
I'm
shoot
not
one.
stupid.
All right. Well, they've spread at this point, so you can only shoot one.
Move back together, please.
No.
Move back together, or the one in the middle gets it.
Then we'll shoot you.
Please. You're going to shoot a priest.
No, you ain't a priest. We just established that.
What?
We just established you ain't a priest because you're carrying a gun.
Really? You want to
Yeah.
call the Vatican about that?
There was what was it? That guy up in Brooklyn. He bought a father suit and he pretended to be a priest. That's how he got to his victims. He was a good hitter for the They start talking about apparently some mafia hitman. Who,
That should make you even more afraid of me.
yeah, but everyone heard about that now, so everybody grabs a collar and pretends they're a priest. Anyways, so you're doing that. They're getting closer. One of them on the right is getting pretty close to Omri, who's still frantically drawing.
How close is he to me?
He's about 25 feet.
Might as well.
I shoot him.
All right,
do
with
the
one
man dance.
barrel or two barrels.
Does it affect my firearm spend?
Will not affect your spend. It would affect damage.
Both.
That will max your damage out.
No, wait.
You're going to have to reload.
Yeah,
There are
one
two
barrel.
other
All right, that will
guys.
be just a d6 plus 2.
D6 plus 2. And I'm spending a 1 from the firearm.
All right.
That'd be...
All right,
Six.
definitely hit.
No, I
The
spent
2
one.
will be for damage, right?
Yeah, 2 for damage.
Oh, okay, so this is it hits.
Yeah, it hits. So d6 plus 2. 4
That'd be a
damage.
4.
That puts them down. All right, so now they
Better
are
deal
going
with the
to
other ones.
return fire because you shot one of them, and they're like,
I did warn them.
"You did." But
Do
they
I
are-
also have my sidearm?
You do. It is
Okay.
drawn. I mean, it's not drawn. It's holstered. Sorry. So the one in the center, who is apparently their leader, he is going to shoot at you. He's spending 1 on firearms. What is your hit threshold? Is your athletics 8 or higher?
It's 8.
So yeah, your hit threshold is a 4. So he needs a 4 or better. But he has a +1, so he needs a 3 or better. He gets a 5. So he's using a pistol, which does a d6 minus 1. And so 4 points of damage.
To my health.
Yes.
That all you got?
All right. Then the guy on the left is actually going to charge towards Omri. So he's going to make an athletics check to cover the distance. He's spending 1. He needs a 4 or better because it's still snowy. Because it's still, cold out there and there's lots of snow. And he makes it to her, so he will try and grab her next round.
Switch to the pistol.
Okay.
Anyway, new
So-
round.
She's running with you, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're planning on our part.
Yeah, thanks.
yeah.
Can I shoot the one that's near Omri without hitting her?
If you
Switch
don't
to
roll
the
a 1,
pistol.
What?
if you roll a 1, you'll hit her.
If
It's a sawed-up shotgun. It's not a precision
Switch to
weapon.
the pistol.
Okay, so I switched to the pistol
Yeah.
to shoot at him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright.
So I've switched to the
Yeah,
pistol.
you're not moving, so yeah, you can.
I am basically pivoting, and
Yeah.
now...
Just drop the shotgun.
You can drop the shotgun and
carefully.
draw it. You can
What
drop
if
it on
I
this.
drop it in the direction of the guy in the middle?
It's a good shotgun. It won't do that.
We're not playing
Dag nabbit.
GURPS,
Okay,
where that can totally.
so I've got the shotgun.
Yeah.
I put it down, and I level the pistol at the other one,
All right.
and I will spend 2 from firearms.
Okay. You hit.
That'll hit.
D6 minus 1 because it's a pistol.
That'd be a 1.
All right, you wing him. Omri notices, and she's going to go next. You didn't realize apparently she got a knife from somewhere.
Again, who keeps giving her the sharp, pointy objects? But this time it's okay.
Yeah.
No,
Right
she's
now.
not been as crazy in this version as others.
So
We just need to watch for
she's
it
gonna
going
spend-
forward.
Yeah, she's going to spend 1. She'll hit. D6 minus 1.
Nice.
She slices his
Yeah.
bloody head off.
Yeah, she cuts him. Then she's going to spend 3 on weapons to make second attack. She's going to throw the knife at the second guy.
Damn!
And spend 2 on that. So
Death trap was singular, therefore incorrect.
yeah, she hits. Only does a point of damage, but it sinks in, and he's like very surprised by that.
Where did it sink in?
Shoulder,
Okay, so
left shoulder, not his right shoulder.
Oh, so what? Nodens doesn't do anything with knives?
Well, she has to use that power, and there's a cost to that.
Okay.
remember?
Fair.
So does he look like he's ailing?
Yeah, he's definitely injured. You
Okay,
could try and
has he
challenge that.
dropped his gun?
Not yet, but it's your action now, so you could try and intimidate him if you wanted to get answers out of him.
I have interrogation, not intimidation.
I don't. I mean, you can just if your action is to, if you have reinsurance, you're like, if you surrender, I won't kill you.
I don't know that I can actually promise that.
Reassurance doesn't mean you. Reassurance means you're convincing.
Okay, I'll spend my last point of reassurance to... If you drop it, you
All right.
won't end up like your buddies.
All right, he drops it.
Thank you.
He staggers to his knee. Omri just calmly picks up the map again, starts finishing drawing. I'll be there in a minute.
So, what
Loot the bodies!
I'll get to that after
Yeah.
I question the one. So, you want to let them do their stuff at
Yeah, you can go back. All right. So, meanwhile, the lecture's going.
Cutscene.
Finishing up. Yeah.
leaving a cliffhanger.
Very good.
So I assume you approach Dr. Cowles after his daughter is there too, a woman in her 20s named Ewa, E-W-A, Ewa, so Ewa. He is base beard guy, looks pretty cheerful. I think that's his little picture right there. So
Whoa!
yeah, very. Oh, man, I love talking about mysticism in the Australia.
Man, it's like
Yeah.
a line drawing of Adam Scott Glancy.
Yeah, a little bit. So he, you can walk up to him, talk to him. What do you want to ask? Thank you for attending the lecture. It's good to know my work is being appreciated by the public.
Indeed.
Yes.
And we didn't really cover this part. Anybody have any ideas?
Well, we could ask if he knows about the bloody tongue cold.
That's
or
true.
African colds.
I have heard a little of that. In that, I once read a book talking about connections between that and other cults throughout the world.
Really?
There were some references to some global cult, and the connections are very tenuous to this being that was worshipped by cults all around the world, named Cthulhu, something like that, who lived in a sunken city, and many, like the northern people on the northern shores of Australia worshipped this being as well. And I've heard that the bloody tongue as a possible, like a theory of, we have the ancestor tongue that all other tongues descend from. And so the idea is that there's one religion that descends from all other, all religions descend from this one. So maybe there's some cult, and they all spread apart. It's been years since I've done that. I've been focusing more on that.
Do you happen to recall what book that was?
Was that the Ponap Scriptures, I think? Yes, I think it was the Ponap Scriptures. A very disturbing and Ponap, Ponape, most disturbing, disgusting tome. The University of Sydney had a copy, but he was lent to John Scott of Boston, Massachusetts, and he went missing. Yes, I think. Yes. It was interesting. I received a message from
Jackson Elias?
Yes, Jackson Elias, yes. He had some interesting questions about this, about these sort of occult matters.
Yes. If you had any answers to those questions, could you maybe share them with us? Regrettably, I don't know if you've heard the news about Mr. Elias.
No. All right. Yeah. You tell him about that.
I'll drop a truth bomb on him.
I've read several of his books, and he talks about connections between the Aboriginal cults that I've been studying with ones in Polynesia and New Zealand. Mm-hmm. But I can't remember much about it. It was interesting. I received another message. It was actually from a Mr. It was a pseudonym, obviously. He called himself Mr. Lamplighter. And he had information about, what was it? My speeches, yes. You can see he's lost in thought for a little bit, as he sort of rambles on for a moment. What my father's trying to say is, Jackson Elias, we never met Jackson Elias.
Sure.
And, but he did he did send a letter to my father about this, and, he apparently had some sort of concern that there was some sort of connection between the Carlyle expedition in Australia. And we had some information we were going to look up for him. I forwarded him the information to a Professor David Dodge, who's attending my house right now in Sydney. So you can, I think Professor Dodge has information about that, so you should contact him. The information that Elias had, the questions that he had. It was about the sandbat, actually, and also about a theory, apparently in some book that Elias had read. There was some sort of mention of a great underground city, which certainly meant there was connected to a race of ancient beings, which obviously sounds similar to, as I mentioned, to the beings were like gods who built great caves here in Australia. And he thought he had something to do with... now I remember. Jackson thought that members of the Carlyle expedition were diverted to Australia to look up these rumors to see that apparently they found some sort of evidence in Africa confirming this story of an underground cave or city or something, and they wanted to confirm it. But I never heard about that, and Professor Dodge, I think, was looking up on that. So, yes, he had some sort of evidence talking about the Carlyle expedition, diverting resources to go to Australia to look up this rumor of a great city or underground ruin in the desert. So,
Professor Dodge is in Australia?
Yes, he's tending my house, actually, while I'm away here in America, in the States.
Until he's dead.
Yes. So that's what you find out, apparently, yeah. The actual evidence, I can't remember. It's been months since I looked at it. But he was quite concerned that there was something there, some truth in the matter. So that's what you find out.
Yeah.
But the Mr. Lamplighter
has the information.
Yeah.
They've always given it to someone else who put it in a parcel to go to someone else who lives in a pineapple under the sea.
Oh. Yes, and Mr. Lamplighter asked me if I knew anything about this book, People of the Monolith. But he...
Yeah, what did you discover about that book?
Well, he was describing there's an English, it was a monograph edition about cults in Europe, but he was talking about a book made of metal that was a transcription of it rewritten by the same author, but with a different point of view. It was very odd. And so the author is a very odd tale that Mr. Lamplighter. He's very concerned that it had gotten lost and that members of the Carlyle expedition had acquired it for their own research. They'd stolen it from him or something. It was a very cryptic message, and I lost it, unfortunately. I lose a lot of things. I'm very absent-minded. Where are my glasses? They're on your head, Father. Oh, yes. Anyway, so you hear that...
Should we spill the beans on that? Actually, that might be worthwhile. Let him know. Maybe Erica would be interested in perhaps,
Letting him look at the book?
Yeah.
Well, I've never seen it myself. Again, it was Mr. Lamplighter was asking me about it, because apparently this metal version of the book had something to do with Australia. It was apparently or it had a chapter about this underground ruin, or something about that.
So we definitely need
Do you have any theories about who Mr. Lamplighter is?
Honestly, no. I couldn't. The syntax I remember being very odd, and his whole manner. I asked to meet him, but he never replied, and it was odd because the whole he seemed to know quite a bit about what was going on in terms of the construction of the book, but not where it happened. And he seemed to have talked about people looking into the Carlyle expedition, but it was dated last year, so I don't know why. I guess there must have been another group looking into it. Anyway. He didn't have a return address on there either way.
Right.
I know he did, but it was a mailbox that, was just at a post office.
What city?
Arkham.
Very interesting. Massachusetts.
Massachusetts. It's a fictional
It's
city.
the place where bad things happen. It's also where Miskatonic University is located.
Yeah. So it's a fictional city that Lovecraft made up and put all his stuff in there. So that's the information you get. The Carlyle expedition diverted resources to Australia. At least Jackson believed, and he was asking Cowles about it. Cowles also was talked by Mr. Lamplighter, who apparently was looking for people of the monolith, and apparently believed that the Carlyle expedition got it. Mr. Lamplighter is very odd, and I think those are the main points.
All things considered, maybe it's better off if we don't tell him. We can just go back and have a look and look in terms of Australia ourselves.
All right. So you can trade information with him if you ever go to Australia. You can visit Doctor.
I'm sure he'll be in perfect physical condition.
Man, you guys are so cynical. I don't know why you believe that. Anyway, back to the Central Park. Omri is drawing on the map some more. What questions were you wanting to ask?
I picked up the shotgun again.
Yeah.
And I'm walking towards him with it. Because if I want him gone, I want him gone in pieces. But, okay. Who sent you?
The bloody tongue. The bloody tongue will have vengeance on the infidels.
Well, that answers that question.
Yeah.
It actually does.
What were you looking for?
We had a vision. We were contacted by the gods saying, look for the woman with white hair, that she would be here. And look, she was here. We will send more, and we will find them. We will find you.
What do they want with the white-haired woman?
Stop I am but a servant of the bloody tongue. We shall consume you. We'll consume your faces. We'll consume your likeness. You shall be added to the pit.
Where is this pit? And which gods?
The bloody tongue is the only god. Anyway.
You probably killed him now.
I was like, I'm finished. We need to go to a diner.
Okay.
All right. Well, it doesn't have a pump action, but yeah. So I'd give that 5 out of 10. But very good. You do execute him, and you flee before the police show up.
Because let's face it, it's Central Park.
Yeah.
Whatever.
At this point, I'm not going to make you stability checks for cold-blooded murder. Omri
Really?
doesn't care at this point.
Omri said he was possessed. Yeah. I feel no qualms.
What about the other guy?
Yeah, what about the other two? I guess she killed one of them.
Yeah.
She killed one of them, and I only crumpled one of them. He's not dead. He's down, but he's not dead.
No, 4 points is enough to kill him.
Oh.
And even if not, you opened up on him with a sawed-off shotgun, so you probably hit center mass. So you're saying you were perfectly fine with gut shooting a guy and then leaving him to bleed out in the snow.
Why are we getting technical about
When you put it that way.
He looked British.
He's very American. So
Close enough.
you and Omri walk off into leaving. You hear the police sirens coming in the distance, but no one seems to pay attention to a priest and a woman walking along.
Really, nobody's paying attention to a priest and a woman walking along.
Well, no, you could just act like you're, well, actually, your collar wouldn't be too visible in the dark, am I? So
No, it doesn't have a glow in the dark feature.
So you go to a cafe, Nighthawks. That's she says, "No, we just have to wait. He'll be here soon."
Who?
The person, one of the authors.
Which author? Omri.
I don't understand the question.
English!
I think he's human.
That's what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah.
Like,
If he's in
would
the night.
psychoanalysis work to get her to just open up?
You can talk to her. She's not actually lost any stability. She seems to be rather in control of her faculties. She's just
That in and of itself is a sign that she's got some stability issues.
Yeah.
But anyway.
She did retrieve the knife, by the way.
That's important.
Knife goes in, knife goes out.
Okay.
She wiped it off in the snow.
Okay.
Later, she inspired anime.
Would interrogation work without upsetting her?
You could just ask her questions. You don't have to make skill points. She'll answer them to the best of her ability.
Is the author of this world?
I honestly don't know enough about him yet.
What now?
I don't know enough. It's sort of a metaphysical question of a certain level. For a long time he has been, at least. I can tell you that much.
Okay, then.
How about you just go with like the most brass tacks version? Do you feel like you're in immediate danger from being around the author?
Yeah, let's go with that.
Oh, no. No. He
Okay,
wants to help us.
that's all that's
How
important.
does he want to help us?
He will answer your questions.
What is his name? I've been trying to get his name for like...
Well, you can call him Mr. Lamplighter.
I saw that one coming, but
He doesn't know.
does he have another name?
Yes, I think so.
What's his other name, Omri?
I don't think we can say.
Can you write it down?
She starts
Voldemort.
She starts drawing symbols.
Do I understand the symbols?
You recognize the language. You don't actually you know them phonetically at a certain point, but they seem to be nonsense to you. You don't have a perfect understanding of that language.
What does this guy look like, Omri?
I don't know.
Are there any descriptions of him?
It doesn't. It's sort of a moot point at a certain.
Would you
level.
like some cotton candy?
No.
What?
So anyway,
I'm trying to
there's a
lower
phone
the-
nearby. You should call your friends and tell them to meet us here. They can talk to us.
I will do that.
Okay.
Hey guys, you want to join the crazy train? And oh, by the way, I need explosives next time.
You're on your own for that. Are you telling us who you're meeting?
Yeah.
Do we have a point of
Lamplighter.
contact for
The detective agency, or actually,
no,
you telephone
for
telephone.
Anthony Kells?
Yeah, I'll say you got a business card from him, and he's saying,
Okay, so you're gonna bring another crazy.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, I'm cool with that.
So you're inviting Dr. Cowles. All right.
Sure, if he wants to meet Mr. Lamplighter.
All right. So,
Here we go.
all right.
Leave
so
the daughter
everyone-
out of this then.
Oh, she's
the daughter
an
goes
adult.
with
She
him.
can make her own
Yeah,
decisions.
she's interested. She wants to find out about this Mr. Lamplighter.
Oh, no.
Nothing horrible can come of this.
Have I
Only
reloaded the
wonderful
shotgun?
things.
Not that
I
it will
would
matter.
assume so.
It will make me feel better. But
All
it
right.
won't
Yeah.
matter.
No, you have a loaded shotgun. Pointed in your belt. And,
Do I have any Molotovs?
no. How would you conceal Molotov while you're
Are there
sitting
any
at a diner
bottles
at
of
this point.
brandy?
not in a diner?
In Prohibition.
Stupid Americans and their prudishness. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sure we won't need explosives for this.
Puritanical colonialists.
All right, so everyone shows up after she orders some coffee and
we get a couple of tables pushed together.
Yeah, she also filched a couple bucks from the dead men, so she pays with a bloody dollar bill. So
That's a little awkward.
yeah,
You never searched the bodies.
Yeah. The waitress is just this old hard one who's like, whatever.
It's New York.
Yeah.
Smells like money to me.
His name is Agnes.
His name is Agnes?
No, the waitress's, yeah.
Although that's a mistake, it wouldn't be hard to make.
So, so you guys show up, but then shortly after, a man in a bowler hat and wearing spectacles and a very plain suit just sits down at your table.
Is he short?
Medium height.
Is he Asian?
No.
Does he have a thin mustache?
No.
Yep.
He is...
Is he Francophone Belgian?
Yes, he is a very, very just bland, just emotionless expression on his face. Just very as neutral as you can get. Says, "I'm Mr. Lamplighter. I am here because I am called." And yes, you. We need to be talking to you, for you will be helping to haven't helped us in the future.
Wait, are you guys here?
Yeah, everyone's here.
Are you seeing this so that I'm not the only one going nuts?
Yes. No, I understand now. And so they start talking a little bit.
Do we overhear the conversation?
Yeah, no, you can talk. You're at the same table, so
sure.
It's very hard to follow. But if you do spend a point in Cthulhu Mythos and lose a point in Sanity, you will have a revelation about what is going on.
I've spent mine.
Yeah.
So.
I'll spend.
Well, only one of you has to do that.
I'll spend it.
Okay. So they start talking about it. You start thinking about Nicotic manuscripts, and you start talking, and you start thinking about that. And then you get a sense of who Mr. Lamplighter really is. And Mr. Lamplighter is wearing a human body, but he's not human. And there's that, because the intelligence inside of him is very old, not malevolent in the sense, but just very amoral, looking down on
beyond good and evil.
Beyond good and evil. You have a sense that he is a member of a race that travels through time, through different bodies. That their minds arrive in different bodies in different eras to avoid their own destruction. Yeah. And this is only one part of their scheme, that they see time all at once, the beginning, the past, the future, and the present, all intermingling. And they're...
No.
He's nicer than Doctor Who, all things considered.
A little bit louder, because that would have been priceless.
He's not Doctor Who. Doctor Who is a great old one. He is Nyarlathotep, and this guy is not nearly as evil as Doctor Who in terms of causing genocide or anything like that. So he's not that badass. But you remember one of your things mentioning Yith, their great libraries, the great race of Yith.
I always thought they were fascinating.
Yes.
But I don't want to go to Australia now. I really don't want to go to Australia.
But he says, and this is why you will all have already will go to Australia.
Funny.
Perhaps not you, but members who will pick up after you decease. There are so many details, such minor details are hard to pick up on. But members of this investigation, research, unit, expedition, squad, team will go to Australia, have already been going to Australia.
It's like a thesaurus mated with a...
Tenses are hard in language.
Yes, that is correct.
Past and present. You do not have the correct ones for chronological sequencing. For anyway, but Omri wishes to go with us. Omri is in danger. The servants of the entity you know as
Lamplighter.
No, he's Lamplighter.
Yeah, he's Lamplighter. No, as the Crawling Chaos are honed in on Omri's unique nature, they will be able to find her very easily, unless she takes certain precautions that you do not possess. We can do this to help her, but we need one favor from you first. There is a source of information, repository, archive, book created with our technology science knowledge.
Is it shiny?
It is metal. We need this.
We can tell you where it is.
Good. We should go there.
Yes, you should.
You should go as well.
I think you've got it covered.
Dr. Cowles and his daughter come in at this point. Just as Lamplighters said, you wish to avoid casualties?
Yes, various other complications.
We are not so good at that.
Surprise, surprise.
And to be honest.
Really? The one moment in this entire conversation you could actually get into dialect was that one. Fair point.
I'm
fair play to the queen.
We are not so good at subtlety. Who is current guardian of the book, People of the Monolith?
Well, you make it sound like we shouldn't tell you.
It is currently will be found, has been found, is being found by the servants of the Bloody Tongue.
Oh.
That's not good.
Yeah.
They have a sibling, pawn, sacrifice victim, Patsy, Carlyle's sibling, is under surveillance.
That figures.
Will be killed, could be killed, is being killed.
Oh no, Erica!
Yes.
Good job. Good job, roleplay.
Especially after discovery of book.
Meh.
Yes,
Dr. Collins is looking at you. Who is this?
This is Mr. Lamplighter.
Oh, it is a pleasure to meet you. Oh, yes, you. You were not useful. You did not have correct information. You are not.
Tact wasn't part of the human course.
I guess.
Yes. I'm sorry. So they start talking a little bit. So
Okay.
So, yeah.
They'll be a perfect match for each other. I mean,
Yeah,
this is
getting-
going to go well.
He doesn't. He's an alien who doesn't understand human culture very well, and he's.
And the other one is wearing a human suit.
Yeah, exactly. Omri
It's
is
funny because academics.
Well,
Right, Sean? Yeah.
I suppose Mr. Lamplighter and I could get the book ourselves, but I mean, you do care about Erica, right? You don't want her to be hurt by anyone.
Fair.
Plus, if they found me, they could find the book, especially if it's.
Since they're tracking you.
Well, they could have. They've already had her under surveillance. It stands to reason that they'll come back, especially if they see a group of strangers who match the descriptions of people who've killed their members recently.
Oops.
They might pay them a visit back tonight, perhaps.
Shocking.
Yes.
So once again, is there a payphone in this town?
Yes.
I'll call Erica.
Is there a courtesy phone?
And the
We could do
dime.
this for free. Why spend our dimes?
You can.
You could just get a money unit. I'm pretty
you
sure
have
dimes
a lot
don't
of
matter.
dimes. Actually.
I think
All
we're
right.
okay on that.
Wait, don't you have a big thing of dimes?
Yes.
I do, but I was going to give that back to the church.
They're not
They're
going
not going to miss
one.
one dime at a
All right.
time.
You call. It's certain numbers out of order.
What?
Wait, Erica's number's out?
Yes.
Which means the phone line's been cut. Or the phone's off the hook.
Let's get in a
Time to
car.
All right. So, so as you guys get.
Can I bring Molotovs this time?
If you stop by the office.
We don't have time.
We're not going to burn down the mansion.
Is there gas
Sean.
in the
That's not
car?
a good...
Do I have an empty bottle?
That would be prepared to check to see if you have an empty bottle.
And a siphon hose.
Nope.
No. What about my flask?
Make a roll to see if you have
I'm not
anything.
going to sacrifice my flask.
It's a lot harder to do if you're
That's the
alcohol
line that
anyway.
you draw. My flask. No. All right. So you get up. Lamplighter starts, and Omri start following you. And the house is like, where are you going?
No, those two, you two should stay here. You've made that quite clear.
We can go to company with you.
No, it's fine.
It should. We should.
If Omri's in danger, we don't want to put her in more danger.
Right. So you're saying we should take the person that the cultists can detect with us?
They are, as long as Omri's in my presence, that is not an issue.
Could you explain how that works?
Yes.
A wizard did it.
He starts unbuttoning his shirt.
Oh.
Yeah.
Look away.
Is anybody looking away? Yeah. All right. You open up. You lose a point of stability. You see he has tattooed an elder sign and other occult symbols into his flesh, and they are quite fresh.
It's not actually his. I mean...
Yeah, it is.
I bet it's Armitage.
You can see it.
It's not Armitage.
No,
He's got other things to deal with.
Yeah. It's just for encyclopedia salesman. Or some shit. So...
Yeah. Read much Chris Straub?
Yeah, I already talked about it. So he, but the symbols on him are glowing, like visibly glowing, with like purplish light. It's actually kind of maybe ultraviolet. It kind of hurts your eyes to look at it. So, anybody else look at the symbols?
Meanwhile,
No.
and gets zapped.
Yeah, something like that. So, anyways, he buttoned his shirt up. Yes, that will not be an issue, but they will be moving on the mansion. Now our will have been...
Verbs are hard.
Are you the only one here?
Of my kind?
Yes.
Yes.
Correct. Okay, moving on. In the car, driving fast.
All right. So you have two cars. Actually, Mr. Lamplighter came in on a Roadster. A very fast-looking
Was there a
car.
bottle in that one?
No. There is a large trunk, steamer trunk in the back.
What's in the trunk?
Really? Have you seen Seven?
It is not. It is instrument for use.
No.
It is
No.
utilitarian purposes.
Very diplomatic.
Yeah.
It's a Yithian lightning gun, isn't it?
I don't know what you're talking about.
That's never a good choice.
Nope.
Anyway.
Let it go boom boom real pretty.
So, who's going to be driving? There are two cars, so I'll get in there.
I have driving.
But between you four, and then that's 6 people, so that's more. So you will have to take 2 cars.
So I guess I'm sitting with the two crazies.
You could.
Yeah, sure.
So
Yeah.
one of you can let Lamplighter drive, or both of you can drive. So who's going to be driving one of your cars, at least? You have driving?
I have driving.
You want to drive?
Sure.
All right.
That's fine. We'll let Lamplighter drive the other one.
All right. Give me a driving check.
Oh, I had a point.
Probably a good idea.
Six.
With 6, you could drive very fast.
Good job, driving.
Apparently there's some sort of shooting in Central Park, so a lot of cops have been diverted from that.
Good thing about shotguns.
Yeah.
No, nothing to, yeah.
Well,
No
19
marks
thing
on
about
the-
Ballistic
Sawed-off
forensics
shotguns.
is not that advanced in 1925, so
Even so.
yeah. But anyways,
Actually, in Germany, they're getting there.
yeah. Well, this is not Germany, so
This is New York, not New
yeah,
German.
not New
city.
Weimar Republic.
Neukölln.
Yeah. So you get there as quickly as could be, and you go out. You look out the mansion. You can see it in the distance, and you can see that the lights are out. There's a large hole in the fence.
Here I was thinking it would be on fire.
So
Has the hole been, like, pried apart? Is it
everyone,
cut
give me a
out?
sense trouble check.
3,
4.
I'll spin one. For a little bit, it did me.
All right.
I got
It's fine.
4.
Fence looked like that before.
4.
Anyone who got a 4 or higher can see that there is a truck that has been driven through the fence, which is what caused the hole. Did anybody get a higher than 4? Okay. So what do you do?
Are there empty bottles and gasoline in the truck?
You are
We're not
in
stopping to check.
You're on the road, like maybe 100 yards away from the hole in the fence.
You know, on the upside, that means we don't have to bother
The
with
gates
the gate.
aren't closed, yeah. So you can go through the hole, or you can stop and then. Oh, are you going to drive through the hole, or are you going to?
Might as well if it's big enough.
All right,
Unless it
one
wrecks
car.
the cars.
there'll be another driving check to maneuver the car.
Yeah. Okay, I'll get another coin. 5.
All right.
In case
With
we need to get away.
5.
Exactly.
As you're driving up, you see a gunman pop out. There was somebody. They had a lookout.
Look out!
Yes. So he's going to spend 1 point and going to take a shot at the driver, which would be
Okay.
Margot. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he hits. I'm going to say it's a D6 minus 2 because he's using. Actually, no, just a D6 because he's using a rifle.
And we're in a moving vehicle. So.
Well, you are in a moving vehicle, but so there's no bonuses, so you get a little bit of protection from it. So you take 4 points of damage as you're winged.
It's alright, I have
It's a
first aid.
serious wing.
By a Tommy gun shot. Actually, I meant a rifle. Yeah. But you drive
Monsignor,
past
you
him.
want to take care of that as you go by?
So,
What are we?
Mr. Lamp, you see a gunman shoot at the front car.
I'll shoot at him.
All right. All right. You get out the window and shot. Go ahead and D6 minus 1.
Actually, I was using the shotgun.
Okay. D6 plus 2.
1 barrel.
All right. Yeah. You kill him. And
Oh,
I also
so
did it one-handed.
really?
it was a drive-by shooting. I'll allow that. So the Bruce is racking up the body count. So,
Okay, but did you do it gangsta style?
Yeah.
Tell me you turned the shotgun sideways.
Yep.
Clearly.
Again, Dublin.
All right. You also hear pops in the distance. There's gunfire going on. So whatever's happening is still going on. And so you have a couple of options. I assume. Well, where are you driving? Like you've gone through the fence, you've gone past the truck, so you could drive straight up to the front door and get out. You could drive up. There are some trees and shrubbery between now and then, so you can get some cover. Or there's also some side buildings around. There's like a garden shed. It's a 5-acre estate. So where are you driving to exactly?
Where are the popping noises coming?
You can tell from the direction of the mansion. So you could drive up to the front of the mansion, you could drive around to the back. You know there's a pool in the back, but you could, try and avoid that. So where do you want to stop the car?
Water is usually bad news.
So the shrubs were right next to the house, you said?
There are some small shrubs next to the house, yeah.
Okay.
There are also some larger ones in between the front gate and the house, so there's like nice little topiary arrangements.
Hey, Margot,
Do
he
you guys
said,
wanna go
shouting
in the
between
house?
cars.
Because I don't want
Well, we're going to have to get
I
the
want us to
book.
run across the yard.
Well, you could drive the car right up to the
I'll
house.
drive, right up.
All right, right to the front door.
Could one of us hop in the truck and drive it through a wall?
You
Oh, yeah!
you could try.
Is it worth a shot? Element of surprise?
Well, which wall?
The wall of the library,
Oh
obviously.
yeah. By the way, did you treat your wound? I assume you did, but somebody could give you a first aid check for that whole, getting shot on the park thing.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it was only 4 damage.
Well,
All right. Yeah. No.
But yeah, somebody want to do that?
I can do that because I trust him. Yeah.
All right.
I will spend 2. 4.
All right. Or wait, no. It's a 2-to-1. Let me look.
so now you need to spend more points of first aid.
Yeah.
Because you made your check. It's just like a psychoanalysis. So,
First
Oh,
aid.
okay.
so for instance, to heal him up completely, you would spend 2 points of first aid in addition to the ones
Okay.
you spent.
I can do that.
All right. So
Also,
spin another.
Margot's going to need healed too, because I think she's at 5.
But that just happened.
Yeah.
Yours was in
So you'd have
another
to stop.
scene.
I mean, she's driving right now, so she'll have to stop the car
Yeah.
and get out. So you make the check. So then every 2 first aid point you spend, you regain another 2 health points. So, yeah. All right.
I'm
so
going to give you 1 point to heal you 2.
That'll
if
work.
If I give you more than that, then I can't do anything with it.
All right. All right. First aid can only bring you back to 1/3 of your maximum health points. So,
What?
yeah. So you're basically that's as much as you can get healed for this scene. I think. And we'll ignore that. It's actually that's a purist rule, I think.
Oh.
Yeah.
Man.
So anyway, you drive to the front door. You guys can get out. Lamplighter pulls up behind you or alongside you.
Did I hop out to get into the truck?
Oh yeah, you tell Lamplighter to stop. He goes, okay, what do you
Oh,
want?
you can just slow down enough.
All right.
Okay, I hop out after having shot that one guy.
All right. Yeah, I see. Interesting.
Does the truck start?
The truck has already did start.
Yes, the truck does start. It is damaged. You can see the grill is pretty bent. From...
Just the grill, though.
Yeah. But it starts.
Okay. I drive it towards the north wall of the library.
That's on the other side. You're facing the south. That's the other side of the building.
Yeah.
No, wait. Wherever the library is.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if it's a library...
It's along the back wall. The front door is on the south, so, yeah.
What's the layout of the house?
Exactly.
All right.
All I have to do is get through a wall
Exactly.
in the library.
Yeah.
Front door.
We probably should have had this before we decided where we were going to park.
All right, so
Incidentally.
hole in the wall, hole in the fence, front door, library.
Why does the library only take up one little space?
Well, it's not.
Where's the pool?
It's not to
The
scale.
pool is back there.
Okay, so I can go around here and slam in here.
Yeah.
And there's nothing else in my way.
That you can tell in the dark
Aren't there headlights on the car?
if you turn it on. Yeah.
It's already on.
Well, the truck was off. They ran through the fence. Then everyone jumped out and rushed the building, and there was one guy.
But I just turned it on.
Yeah, you just turned it on.
But did you turn the headlights on?
You could not turn the headlights on. You could just
So
turn
that
the
they
truck
don't...
This is the 20s.
on. Headlights aren't automatic.
And the pool's back here.
Yes.
And there's no fountains or anything.
There are some trees between here and there, so you would have to make a driving check to drive it in there.
I don't have driving, but I can make it work.
Yeah, you can make a check.
Yeah, driving.
But you can always make a
Oh, I
deception.
do have driving. Yeah. Hot dog. Okay, so I'm going to do a driving check to see if I can get around to slam it in the wall.
All right, so are you just going to drive it here and slam it as fast as you can, or are you going to go all the way back here, turn around, so you have a good run, just run straight into it as hard as you can?
My particular idiom, sir?
Yeah.
Yes, idiom.
I mean, do you want to just go like that, or you want to go all the way back here and then gun it?
We'll go with the latter.
Gunning it. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Give me a drive check.
I'll add 2.
Are you turning your headlights on too?
I turned them on?
Yeah.
Did you?
Did you
it's
turn
a
them?
question.
Do they know you're coming, in other words?
Yeah.
Or how soon do they know you're coming?
Will it actually help if they know I'm coming?
No, I thought you were an element of surprise.
It'll make the drive check easier if you have the headlights on.
Yes.
It's a trade-off. Do you want the element of surprise, or do you want the element of not wrecking?
Turn them on when you're 20 feet.
Because there are trees and other things
That's
in
not
here
really
that
gonna help.
and small shrubs that you could.
Could I
It's
turn them on and then turn them off
Yeah.
when I'm ready to ram into the wall?
Well, if you turn them on at all, anybody will probably notice the truck's
Okay. They're still off then. I'm adding 2.
All right.
And I get a 5.
All right. With 5, you get into position. You are positioned 200 yards away.
Am I going to have to make another drive check to slam into the wall?
That depends on you. Do you want to make a drive check to
No.
skillfully?
I would much rather just slam into it.
All right, you can do that for free. I
Okay.
will just roll damage for you because you're in a truck that's slamming into a brick
Can
wall.
I jump out just in time?
There's the drive check right there.
Or athletics.
Yeah.
Okay, well, yeah, athletics. I could use athletics.
I would say you'd have to do both. One is the drive check is to make sure the truck will actually hit the wall. And,
Preparedness check for a brick and a piece of string.
Okay.
that's a drive check. That's a drive check to
Okay, so...
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, man. Best
How
plan.
bad would it be if I'm in the truck when it hits?
Probably bad.
You're pedal to the metal driving into a brick
So-
wall.
Airbags.
Here's what we're doing.
There are no airbags. There's no seat belts either.
I'm building up speed. I'm going to do a drive check and then
Yeah.
jump out of the car.
Okay.
So drive check is a 5.
All right.
Athletics check, I'm adding 4. 7.
All right, you take 1 point of damage as you jump from the truck and you skid along the well-manicured grass.
Ow!
Yeah.
Ow! Who's your gardener? Ow!
And then the truck slams into the northeast corner of the building.
Yes!
And
Achievement unlocked. Infiltration.
Infiltration. All right. So meanwhile, the rest of the party, Mr. Lamplighters, fiddling with the steamer trunk in the back of his roadster.
No!
Yeah.
Can we maybe not use that?
Oh well, I will reserve. I will be.
That's a good plan.
Yes.
Yeah. If There is a point at which things have gone pear-shaped enough that, employing that is not a bad idea.
To make it
especially
like
when
apple.
it's somebody else
Yes.
employing it.
All right, so what is your plan? You're at the front doors. Are you just kick the door down and shoot anybody who looks like they don't belong, or are you going to actually...
Point of reference, when I tumbled, did I actually do a somersault and then wind up on my feet and walk away?
No, you just jumped out, belly flopped, and skidded along the ground. Hence the point of damage. You are getting older, you're not, a elite acrobat, so... but you didn't die, so hey, that's good.
Hey, yeah.
And you made a big hole in the wall, so you can definitely go through that. So, what is your plan? There are front door windows, there's first-story windows, you could go around the side.
At this point, have we heard the giant crash or not?
Not quite yet. You do hear gunfire and yelling coming from somewhere around.
Are there, is the house lit up from the inside?
It should
No,
be,
the lights
but it's
are off.
dark. In fact, you do notice the power cable has been cut off in the distance. There is a down power line.
So we can't see inside.
You have torches, electric torches.
But if we
It's
shine
been
them
well
in,
established.
that'd be a way that we would
Right.
do.
Yeah, that'd be a bad plan.
But we know our way around the house. We can sneak in and sort of.
Sort of. You know your way to the library. That's the way you say you can make
That's
it.
all we need, right?
Yeah. So, are you just going to open the door and go in? Or are you going to kick the door in and try and get the element of surprise? Or are you going to try and sneak in? You could just open it and try. Well, first off, you do notice the front door is ajar. Looks like. In fact,
It's
there's
not
a big
door?
There is a hole where the doorknob would be. It looks like someone shot it.
And there's not a guard standing around there anywhere that we can see.
No, as you look closer, your eyes get adjusted better in the dark. You see there's a pool of blood near the front door.
There was a guard.
Well,
Can
let's just sneak in.
I sneak up to the door and listen at the door?
Sure. Give me a stealth check.
Okay. 2.
2. You do see a body. There's a guy in a suit who has a gun in his hand, a pistol in his hand. Looks like he's been shot near the front door. You can't tell if it's a bodyguard or a cultist.
I'm going to pick up his pistol.
Well, he's inside. You're outside.
He's inside.
Yeah.
Okay.
You see him. He's right beyond the door. So you don't see anything in the gloomy darkness yet. But as you hear it, you can hear more like a burst of Tommy gun fire. Sounds like.
Window.
So are you doing anything? She's looking through the door.
I'm going to cover the doorway,
Okay.
while she's peering
All
through
right. So
it.
he comes up behind you, ready with a pistol, and you. So you're just being cautious.
Well, and I think I want to sneak in right after, because are we going to...
Well, she hasn't gone inside the building yet. Are you
Okay.
going to go inside the building?
Sure.
All right.
I don't have my gun ready, though.
You, of course you have your gun ready. Why would this would be the one time you wouldn't have your gun ready? So you go in the building. You go in the foyer of the mansion, and you see the staircase leading up. It's a 3-story mansion. You see 2 bodies. Looks like they were involved in a gunfight, and there's other bloodstains and bullet holes everywhere. And as you do that, you two, everyone give me a sense trouble check.
Me too.
No, because they're at the foyer.
2.
I'll spend 2. 8.
All right, the thing was a 4. So did everyone get a 4?
I did.
You did?
I got 2.
All right, you do not know. Margot goes in for it, and you two notice a gunman holding a shotgun up. You can't, again, it's gloomy dark, so you can't tell if he's a bodyguard or a cultist. Pointing a pump action shotgun down at her, and is about to fire. When you hear a tremendous crash come from somewhere.
Job, Sean.
Yeah.
Truckus ex machina.
So the gunman is going to shoot.
Wait, was the sound part of the sound too?
Huh? Yeah, no, that's why he's startled, so he pulled the trigger. So he would hit with a 6.
Oh. I actually would also like to shoot.
Okay.
him.
All right, then you get to go first.
Yeah. I'll spend 2, but yay, since trouble pool, so
Yeah.
yay. I miss.
Yep. His hit threshold is 4.
Yep.
So it misses. He fires. He hits. Margot, you're going to take 6 points of damage.
That means I'm at negative.
Negative what?
-1.
-1. You are injured.
I have 2 points left of first aid. I will try to help.
So you get shot. You fall behind. There's some furniture there. There's a small couch, and you. Sorry, looking for what the thing is for injury. Basically, yeah. So you're not dead. It's not until you get to -6. But here we go. You were hurt. The pain of your injuries makes it impossible to spend points in investigative abilities. It increases the difficulty number of all tests and contests by 1. So it's harder for you to hit people, and you can't use investigate. So basically, it hurts. So, and if you get between -6 and 11, you have to make a consciousness check to not pass out. And if you get to -12, you are dead. So,
no problem. You still have 12.
Yeah. After so,
Can I immediately do first aid?
you
She
did.
falls behind a couch.
Yeah,
and I
you can
rush
do that.
over? Okay.
Is that what you're doing?
Yes.
Okay. You rush over. Now, Margot, you will use your action as she's patching you up. But both of you are, cloistered, basically ducking behind a couch. And the gunman will turn his attention towards Bill, because he actually shot at him.
Mm-hmm. I'll shoot back at him.
Yep. Yeah, go ahead. Bill gets to go first.
Spend 1.
4 will hit.
Mm-hmm. Three.
All right, 3 points of damage. Ugh. He staggers, and he actually retreats. Just being shot does not agree with him.
Mm-hmm.
You were patched up. You can heal, I guess, 2 points since you have 1 point of first aid left. How much first aid do you have left?
I have 2 points left.
Okay.
So, okay. Do I have to roll to see if I...
Yes.
4 points.
All right.
Now, you made your check, so now,
You can
since
spend.
you
Yeah,
didn't
so
spend
now
any
I'm going
points,
to
you can spend both
two.
of them. And give
This
her,
is what I'm doing.
Yeah. She
So
rolled
now
a 4,
you
and
heal
then she's
4.
spending. She's
Okay.
healing 4.
Then I
yeah.
spend my 2.
Just a coincidence. So you heal 4 up. But Sean, all right. So you've made your entrance. You're just going to saunter in there.
With a sawed-off shotgun.
All right. Give me a sense trouble check.
I'll add 2. That'll be a 7.
All right. You see Erica hold up in one corner of it with protecting her. He is her enormous bodyguard. You didn't catch his name, but you saw him there. He is seemed to be the lieutenant or commander of the other guards. He is firing a very large revolver at someone you can't see that side of you can't see from your position. Erica's looking wide-eyed at you and the truck. The bodyguard is not so easily distracted. The safe has been revealed, but is not opened yet. You do see scorch marks on it, as though they tried to burn or cut it open, but were interrupted. And you can hear chanting. Somewhere someone is saying something in the language that you recognize as Latin.
Okay, first off,
Yeah.
did any of the cultists get hit by flying bricks that came off of the wall from the truck driving into the wall?
Well, you do see that there is a crumpled up guy in a really shabby suit who looks like he was a cultist. He had a pronga on him and a revolver, and looks like you crushed him with the truck.
Sweet. Okay, and how many are left?
You don't know. You're basically at the truck. You're basically at the hole in the wall. You have to step into the room to see into it more. And there's also a lot of bookshelves in the way, so some of them knocked down and some are still up. So there's a lot of covers. You'd have to move into the room more to get a better look.
Is there gasoline leaking from the truck?
It was diesel.
Yeah, I mean, there's diesel leaking from it.
Do I have a lighter?
Preparedness. Yes, you do have a lighter.
How far can I chuck the lighter?
Across the room if you want. Okay.
No, I'm thinking backing
Burn down
away.
the rich, pragmatic person's mansion. Nothing can go wrong here.
I'm thinking of backing away from the truck and throwing the lighter at the truck, making sure that I'm far enough from the blast radius.
What about the book? Go in.
It's metal. It'll make it. It's weird.
You do see
metal.
Erica Carlyle is in there, too. I will give you a hell of a stability loss if you fail to protect an innocent person.
Okay.
You are a priest. You may be a murderous, blackmailing priest, but...
I didn't do the blackmailing. That was entirely her.
Yeah, no, I'm sure they're that forgiving, but you still are kind of bound to protect...
Murder of demons and cultists is a little bit...
Yeah.
It's a gray area.
Yeah, but she's an innocent person who's got...
Okay.
She is neither demon nor cultist.
Yeah.
Are we sure?
Are you sure you are from the Spanish chapter? The Spanish Inquisition, yeah.
Okay.
You sound so defeated. Okay.
I was hoping to take out all the cultists in one
You
blow.
would. You would be a very less sane person for that.
I'm weighing it.
All right.
You know, okay, I go in with the shotgun.
Okay. Are you sneaking in, or are you going to just try and rush in and get the element of surprise?
Would conceal or disguise help with sneaking in?
Conceal.
What helps with sneaking in?
Stealth.
I do not have stealth, but I can go check anyway.
You can always try stealth even if you don't have it.
That'd be a 3.
That is not good enough. They're pretty alert, especially because,
The
You are
truck
following
can't
a
through the wall.
yeah, they're like, what?
Are they distracted enough that the guard is able to shoot them?
He is shooting at them. He is holding them off. He is the only
So
reason.
his aim is crap.
No, he's doing pretty good. You just don't know how many. You actually get up. Yeah, conceals hiding things from you and conceal them from the search. Camouflaging, holding items out on your person, sneaking things into drawers.
So it would have been good for stealing Peoples of the Monolith hours ago.
It's a big book. It would have required a hell of a check, actually, probably. And also, she would have realized you've taken it pretty quickly after you've done that.
Just saying.
Yeah.
And then we could have done a drive
checks
check.
to nimbly
Yeah.
move between the shelves.
Yes.
Is that allowable?
I'm
Because
sorry, what?
obviously they know he's there.
Can I use an athletics check to nimbly move in there
Yeah.
quickly?
Sure, you good.
I will add 2. That'd be a 5.
All right, with 2, you bound into the room using the bookshelves as cover. Some, like I said, some are knocked down, some are still up. And you go to a position where from judging from where the bodyguard is shooting at, you run over to the other side of the room so you can flank where you think the bad guys are. And guess what? They are there. There's 2 of them there. One of them has a Tommy gun who is frantically reloading it.
Good.
And the other one is firing a pistol back at the guard. So they are basically both behind cover, shooting from cover. So they're just...
How far are they?
Right now, they are both about 25 to 30 feet away.
Great. I'm going to shoot them with the
They are
shotgun.
not. You cannot hit both of them at the same time. They are sufficiently far enough apart that they are. Unless you ran up to be at point blank range, you cannot hit both of them with the same shot.
They'll be fine.
But you can hit one or the other. And with the athletics check, they see you, but you can act before they can react.
So I could run up and shoot?
You'd have to make another athletics check to do that. Because you have to close the remaining 25 feet. And again, this place is now a battlefield. There's all kinds of stuff on the floor.
I'll add
Pools of
2.
blood. All right.
5.
All right, 5. You bound across the room even further. You jump on a toppled over bookshelf, standing right over them. They're both looking at you with wide eyes. You can hit both of them with the same shot.
Okay, I'll add 1 to firearms.
All right, roll 1.
6.
All right, 6. And if you're using both
Barrels.
both barrels. All right.
They're the only 2 in the room, right?
Yeah, you do max damage. You kill both of them.
Sweet.
The chanting hasn't stopped.
That's a little unnerving.
Neither of them was chanting.
That's the idea.
Anyways, you 3. So there's a pause in the violence as you're what the fuck is that? And they're like, what
It's
the fuck
probably
are you
the Monsignor.
So you two are in the room. You've been patched up as you were peppered with buckshot. And you can go to the library, make a beeline to the library, or you could search the room further, or you could call out, say, hey, we're not with the burglars or cultists.
We're here to save you from the burglars.
Yeah.
We're here with the priest.
Yeah, no, that's...
No. Whatever we do not identify ourselves with the priest.
So, what do you want to do?
Do we hear the chanting?
Not from where you are.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think we should sneak towards the library.
Yeah.
Alright, you can give me stealth checks.
Point. I
Spend
want to
my
get shot.
Oh no.
Spend a couple.
3.
Well, I had 2. We are
I make.
stealthy.
Okay.
I am. I don't know what their deal is.
Well, she's injured. I'm like,
Alright, but you got a
I know
3.
over a
But
lot.
you are... So all 3 of you are rolling separately, so each of you is taking a different approach. Or one of you going to be the guy... Well, remember, when you do stealth or group checks, you can have one person be the leader, and then everybody uses that result.
Okay.
Or everyone goes separately. And
We'll
then,
follow him.
Yeah. I'll have this somebody again in
I
the
make
future.
some hand signs.
Yeah. So, you got a 5 or a 6?
I had a 7.
7. All right. So with the 7, yeah, you do hear Latin chanting as you're getting closer to the library. You can't make out the source, but give me some trouble checks.
Spoilers, you find some.
You're bleeding out. You're excused from not making your sense shovel.
You're a little lightheaded. What?
6.
6. All right. So you make it, and you don't. All right. So listen, this is all on you. You are the only one to notice as you're going through a corridor. You can hear the Latin chanting, and you know that's bad news. That's definitely not the priest's voice. And you're trying to get in on that position, but you're the one who knows. Oh, while you're hearing the voices up ahead, you look to your left, and you can see 2 men with prongas sneaking up right on you. They're going to strike at Bill and Anne, both their characters. So you, because you caught them, can act first.
I will shoot them.
All right. Well, you can't shoot both of them.
I will shoot the closest one that is going to
They're
attack
both
them.
about the same distance. There's one targeting Bill's character and one's targeting Anne's
All right, well, I'm
Are
going
they
to
in a
protect
line?
Anne first.
Huh?
I'm going to protect Anne first.
All right. Give me a roll. She's more injured.
Yes. I'll spend 2.
All right.
5.
All right. You can roll damage.
2.
Oh.
All right.
-1.
You wing him, and
It's
he.
enough to alert the others, though?
It will be enough to alert Anne because you shot right by her, and she's like, and that.
Really? So I don't hear gunfire?
Right behind him.
Well, no, it's more the bullet actually slows him down as he is actually wounded and
That's
staggers
fine.
back.
They have prongus, and firearms act faster than melee weapons. And
But
I have-
you, the guy, as soon as the gun charges you, so he will get an attack on you. He will
You have
spend
your
1 on
armor
his
on?
weapons check,
Of course I do.
and he gets a 6. So
Of course he does.
that is a 3 minus 1, 2 points of damage.
Did you subtract from my armor?
He rolled a 4.
Okay, so you said 2?
Yes.
Okay.
So there's 2 of them, and one of them has taken 1 point of damage, or what was it, 1 or 2 points of damage?
It was 1.
1.
No,
All right.
well,
You
right.
rolled a
Because I
2
rolled
and
2.
it's minus
Yeah.
1.
All right. So now we're in standard combat. As the other guy staggers back, but now he's going to reach up and now he's going to target you, Melissa, because you shot him. Weird. I guess you're up first, Bill, because you have the highest. Sense.
Yeah. I'm going to shoot the one that just stabbed me.
All right.
I miss.
All right.
we're all in.
Actually, you know what? No. I'm gonna wrestle the guy.
All right. You're scuffle.
Yes, scuffling. I will spend. Do you want me to keep that roll? How do you want me to? I'm sorry, I changed my mind. It's bad.
No, it's fine. We're so purist here in terms of the rules. Just make a new roll. Spend new scuffling points instead of firearms.
I will spend 2 points of scuffling,
All right.
and I will scuffle him.
All right. You scuffle him. You can Are you just punching him for damage, or are you going to?
No, I'm grabbing him.
All right, you
He
grab
has a
him.
knife.
All right, you're mano to mano, holding the blade over. And both of you have guns, so you can shoot at him before he charges Melissa. So, and you can fire as well.
I went to shoot.
Okay.
Actually, I'm going to add 2 points.
All right.
3.
He's right next to you, so his hit threshold is only 3. So, because he's charging he's coming right at you, so it's pretty easy to hit. So you can hold damage.
3.
2. All right, he is wounded. Melissa, you can shoot him.
Okay. I will spend 2 points again. So 3.
All right, that still hits.
6, so 5 points of damage.
All right, that kills him.
Ha ha!
He falls to the ground.
That guy is dead.
All right, he's going to try a weapons check to try and free him, or an athletics check to try and break free of your grasp. He's spending 1.
All right.
Uh,
And how do I oppose that?
What was your roll? Your roll was like a 5 or a 7, right?
I spent 2, so yeah, it was a 7.
Yeah, no, you can't beat that. So
Okay.
You're just like, and he looks quite angry.
Okay.
As he is cursing at you.
Can I scuffle to direct his hand that is holding the blade
into him? Yeah, this will be a post check.
Okay, I'll spin 3.
He will spend 2 athletics.
Drop the blade.
Because I'm trying to get him to stab himself.
He actually gets
Seems like
eight.
it'll be effective.
Why would he not drop the blade?
I get a 9.
All right, you two. All right, good job. All right, you inflict. I'll just say full 3 points of damage. You stabbed him good with his own knife.
Does that kill it?
I'll say one of you two can finish him off as he staggers back, drops the blade, and one of you two just pops him one more time and he collapses. Or both of you. Actually, probably both of you would shoot him.
At this point, yeah.
Yeah.
Why wait?
All right, so you hear more gunfire coming from in the
That
other
was
room.
my philosophy.
Yeah. So what are you going to do now?
Erica's going to be so mad.
There's a moment in
There will
silence
be no
as
weird
like
words.
the bodyguard and Erica are looking at you. You're looking over the dead cultist. You hear the Latin chanting. You don't know where it's coming from exactly. It's somewhere nearby, but you can't tell exactly. What is your next action?
Well, I hear the gunfire out there.
Somewhere close by.
Maybe psychoanalysis to figure out what Erica and the guard know in order to calm them down so they don't
You make a
shoot me.
psychoanalysis check to see how panicked they are.
I'll add 1.
Alright.
That'd be a 3.
They're both sort of in fight or flight mode. They're going to suffer shell shock later on. I mean, but right now
But they're not going to shoot me.
They recognize you.
Good.
There's enough moonlight that they can recognize you.
And headlights from the truck.
They're
And
all.
turn him on.
Oh, yeah.
I did it total Black Ops style.
No witnessing. So, so that's what you do. You look them over, and they're like, "We're good. We're good. All right." So the chanting stops at this point.
That is a bad sign. That means they're done.
Then you hear a smattering of gunfire, and it stops. You guys rush into the library, I assume, next.
Is the Tommy gun still on the floor?
Yes, it is unloaded. It is the guy apparently was not very good and was trying to
Is the clip near it?
The drum is nearby. It is sort of half jammed in there. Looks like he had a jam or something.
Is it broken?
Do you have firearms?
I do, but I'm
You have to
all
make
tapped.
a check and an action to clear it.
Probably worth it.
All right, so that's what you do. You reach out and grab the Tommy gun.
My
What are you
check-
three
So
doing?
that chanting that stopped,
It just stopped a second after you finished the fighting.
did it seem like it was coming from the library from our perspective, or did
It
it
was
seem...
coming to the right of the library. Like, you remember there was like a room nearby, like a storage room or something. Like
Okay.
it's a
Is
big
there a
room.
door to it?
Are you going to walk up to it?
Yeah.
You open up?
No.
Yeah, okay, there's a door. Never mind.
Do not
Wait.
assume.
Can we listen at the door first?
Yeah, you give me some trouble check.
I'll spend 1.
All right, so you both are listening.
6.
Yes.
What about you, Mark?
All
All right, everyone's
roll
pretty
very
damn
high.
7 on a
A
sense trouble.
5.
All right.
So we have 5, 6, and 7.
All right, you hear, a person in there, some sort of male's voice, sort of chuckling to himself. We shall have it. All praise to be the bloody.
It's a bit disconcerting.
Yeah.
Ross is pretty good
Go
at
in.
disconcerting laughter.
So, kick the door, 3 guns.
Yeah, I have no more firearms, but I can try.
Well-
I've got 6 firearms.
Oh, okay. So Margot goes first. I'll bring up the rear.
So it's athletics check to kick the door down, unless you just want to throw.
Margot?
Yeah,
All
I
right.
can put 3 into that.
Okay.
All right, fireman's kick.
Ah.
8.
The door splinters like toothpicks. It falls over. You see a man, a skinny man. He's got a knife. He's covered in blood, and it looks like he's been carving himself up, though. And you see that there are occult signs and symbols drawn on the walls in his own blood, and he's looking at you.
Now you start shooting.
Yeah, no, you don't have to roll. You just shoot. That's what you do. You just start plugging them. All right. Within second, yeah, you shoot a few times each, and he falls to the ground quite dead.
Okay.
Oh yeah, give me stability laws. That was kind of
That was a little weird.
Really?
I got a 2.
I failed.
2. If you fail,
Just 4
2 points.
yes,
Okay.
you're fine.
You're bleeding, but you're fine.
You want to steal my chair. Only because I'm in it.
No, I would do it if you weren't there.
All right. So, what is your next?
Could I get anything out of an occult spend to, like, what?
Understand what's happening here?
Yeah.
For 0 points, you can see the symbols actually remind you of Cthulhu, occult symbols of darkness and evil.
Okay.
So if you make a Cthulhu mythos spend, I would allow you to understand the actual nature of the incantation.
I'm out. Anybody else?
I've got one, I'll spend it.
All right.
Don't forget to lose your sanity.
Your heart sinks down as you realize what this madman has done. He has sacrificed his life force and would have died soon after, even if you hadn't shot him.
So it was a mercy killing.
Yeah, but what he has called down from down between the stars, down to wreak bloody vengeance upon you. It is coming. It is coming. So you begin panicking. Something really bad is coming your way very soon. Something from the sky. That is what you've had. You remember in dreams you barely remember when you wake up, and from the various occult texts you have gleaned from. But yes, that is what he has done. The exact nature of this entity, this thing, you do not know, except that it will come from the sky. It will be a flying beast thing, whatever it is. So,
A flying beast thing is coming.
yes.
We need to go tell Lamplighter.
Yes.
He's got us covered on that.
Yeah, in fact, everyone. So, you two are doing that. Anne, what are you going to be doing?
I'm gonna head to the library.
All right, you head in the library. You see Erica Carlyle. It seems like the shooting has died down. Did you make your firearms check?
It was a 3.
Okay, 3 does not clear it. You need a 4.
Oh, where's Omri and Lamplighters?
They're
Outside.
out front.
Okay, in the cars.
Yes, yeah, they're
Well,
they stay behind.
Lamplighter was getting his steamer trunk
He said he
out.
was going to hold off, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Reserves were his exact word. One of his exact words.
So Erica looks
His
at
was.
Margot.
15.
Is that you?
I'm here. Are you
What?
okay?
This has become my home has become a battlefield. What happened? What? I had no idea that they were burglars. That they came screaming. They said they were going to kill us all. Anyways, her steely resolve is breaking down because there was concerted attempt on her life and an intense gun battle in her home. So she's not dealing with it. She's not totally broken down, but she's not really happy about this. So she's kind of just rambling on. Her bodyguard's got 1,000-yard stares as he just starts reloading, looking at the corpses, saying nothing. You actually notice there is a wound on his chest. His blood is turning his white shirt quite red, but he doesn't seem to notice. You two, you're investigating the corpse. You're investigating the corpse in the storage room. What about you? You were with her, I guess. You're looking at the corpse too. So, anyways, Anne, what is your priority here? The priest is messing with the guns of the dead guys.
Can I do look over at the
safe?
Was the safe open?
You can see the safe. It looks like the cultists had a brief time where they tried to get it open with torches, with a welding torch, but they weren't able to get it open.
Okay.
So it's damaged, but it's still there.
Okay. I want to look around for more cultists.
Okay. Give me some struggle check. So you look outside.
420.
So you see it. Silhouetted against the moonlight. At first you think, oh, that's an odd shape for a bird. Now it's getting quite larger. It's not it's serpentine in shape.
Oh no.
It is.
That's it.
There's one wing on it. It's moving. It's getting larger and larger, and it's like a snake but larger, and it's just cutting through the air. It's getting, and then all of you hear and see it. So go ahead and give me a stability check. But the rest of you hear it as it's calling, as it's screeching.
6.
All right, so you're kind of like fight or flight mode. You're not really thinking about it right now. So, anyways, all of you hear the cry. So, of something. It is. It's echoing. It actually sounds more like very low tone. It is impossible. Like none of you have heard a whale song before, but yeah. So you can everyone give me a stability check.
Again?
No, not you.
Okay.
You saw it. So that's it.
That would be a 4.
I have a 6. I'm okay.
I'm fine.
All right. Yeah. No.
I've heard worse.
Yeah, and you're drinking.
Jazz is weird.
Wow. All right, okay, Schopenhauer. Schopenhauer.
Whatever. I've seen The Rite of Spring. It gets worse.
So, we'll just go from right to left. What are you going to do?
Well, I didn't clean the Tommy gun.
Uh-huh.
So
Damn lot of good it would have done you.
No, it wouldn't have mattered anyway.
Isn't Lamplighter our best hope here?
Someone should yell for him.
I think so.
Lamplighter!
You're in the library. He's on the other side of the building.
I am going to make a mad dash to
Well, alright, so are you just yelling at him for this turn? Actually, that's what you do. You start yelling at him, and so that's your turn.
Okay.
Yeah. And what are you going to do? Or was
Do I
Mara?
already hear him shouting?
You hear the father yelling for Lamplighter. You hear the monster. You see the monster. It's coming right for you.
Oh, right for me?
Yes, you're...
Shoot!
Yeah.
Am I outside? Where am I?
You're in the library looking out the window.
Looking out the window?
Yeah.
Oh, so I'm inside.
You're inside, so you're like right on the north side of the library, right in this corner looking north. So,
Okay.
That side is north. The up is north. And you're seeing it coming down toward you.
And he's where I am, so I already know he's calling Lamplighter.
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't know if Lamplighter would hear him, because he's on the other side of the building.
Oh. Can I use athletics to run toward Lamplighter
Sure.
to try to make sure he hears us?
Yep.
Okay.
So you run away from the giant monster.
I'm gonna put 3 into that.
That seems long.
Actually, you as you're running, you realize Erica is paralyzed with fear, and so her bodyguard is wounded. So if the monster breaks in the library, they're probably not going to do so well.
Ooh, do I still have my lighter?
Yeah, you made your preparedness check.
Last ditch effort, we could blow the truck.
You just like, I know the first insanity you're going to get is pyromania. Like I'm just going to give that to you. The first time you get a permanent disorder, like that's you. Because you're already role playing.
That doesn't add anything to my character, though.
So you can run to get help, or you could try and help Erica get further, like into the interior of the mansion, like away from the window.
So I can grab them on my way.
You can grab one of them. I mean, the bodyguard's a big guy. Erica's kind
and
of...
he won't follow me.
He would, probably, if you're... Are you going to spend this round trying to get them to come with
Sure.
you?
Yeah.
Alright, are you going to use... Do you have any interpersonal skill? Actually, no, you're kind of wounded, so you could just sort of grab them. You're not really thinking straight. No, wait, you got healed, so...
I have 3 now.
Yeah. Are you going to use any interpersonal skills, or are you going to use athletics and just kind of manhandle them?
I'm going to use reassurance.
Yeah.
To tell them that they need to come with me now.
Okay.
I just use 1 point of it.
Okay, so what are you saying to them? So Erica's like, what? She doesn't seem to even notice the sound of the monster coming toward her.
Okay, we've got to get out of here.
Huh?
We've got to get to a safer place.
Are there more coming? Can't you call the police? Why aren't the police here yet?
I don't know, but we have some backup, and we've got to move to safety right now so that he can take care of things for us.
Thank you. All right.
Where's a place we can go that's safe?
I thought this was safe. I don't know. Is safe even possible?
Interior room.
She says, the bodyguard kind of like snaps out. Wait, downstairs, there's a wine cellar. Yeah, there's a wine cellar.
Let's move to the wine cellar.
Okay. So he staggers up. Erica gets up and says, yes, let's go to the... She starts trotting up. Yes, I can... The wine cellar. There's candles in the wine cellar. We can go there.
That's good.
But then the bodyguard comes up and then, falls to the ground. Oh, God, my leg. So anyways, so Erica's like, oh, no! I forgot the last name.
Hans.
Hans. It's not Hans.
Anybody else for a second?
Thank you.
First, it's ginger ale-ish.
Okay. Joe, come on. And Joe was like, no, go on without me. I can't, I'll just slow you down. So, that's where you're at. So Eric is going to wait for Joe, and Joe is wounded. So anyways, but they want to move now, so that's an improvement. All right, so Melissa, you heard the call. You're in the storage room near the library.
So I am going to run to Lamplighter.
Okay, so you're running Lamplighter. Give me an athletic check.
I will spend 3. So 7.
All right, you bound over those corpses as though they were hurdles and track and field meet. So, yes, you easily avoid the blood pools and the other obstacles in your way, and the broken Ming dynasty vases and other accoutrements of the mansion that have now been ruined. So you make good progress. You get to the foyer this round. So, Bill.
We've got 2 people going after Lamplighter.
1.
She's going
She's
to wine
Oh,
leaving.
right. Okay.
She's still in the library.
He'll be fine with that. So, I don't know if I can really help.
You want to get out of the room so I can blow the truck?
You don't even know what this thing is. You could go out and look at it.
No, I'm not interested in that, actually. Crap. Not overwhelmed with a plethora of choices. You know what? I'm just going to run for Lamplighter as well.
You could try and distract it to keep it away from other people. No, you're going to go with the Lamplighter?
No, I'm going to go with
right.
I'm going to go with the lightning gun plan, Ross.
All right,
it
all right.
seems like a good call.
All right, do we want to an athletic check?
I don't have athletics.
Well, you can always make a check even if you don't have it.
How are you going to aim a firebomb that cannot fly at a flying monster?
If it's coming,
You don't know what the monster wants. The monster is coming for... It does have a reason. I'll just say everybody in the Cthulhu mythos knows summoned beings are given instructions, so it is being commanded to do something.
Sure, but it could have been commanded to slaughter everyone here.
Right, but then you could use someone as bait to draw it into a...
And blow the truck.
Yeah. And then just get... One person goes into the truck, monster follows it, then you blow the truck up, person jumps out of the truck.
I'm out of athletics.
That's
maybe not in that order.
Yeah. Or at all on that
Or
very
if
last
they're
one.
is it coming towards the library?
You don't know. You haven't seen it.
And
How is it that she saw it?
Because she was looking at the window. He was messing with the Tommy gun.
Trouble.
did you shout?
Everyone heard it. You know it's coming. You can hear it getting loud.
Can I do a sense trouble to know whether or not it's coming?
If you spend your next action going looking out the window, yeah.
That seems like a waste of time.
Okay, I'm running. I only spent 1, so I don't run well.
You get tripped up on a body. You fall into a pool of blood. So
Ew.
yeah. Well, there were a lot of dead people in this mansion.
I wonder if you need a
statistics
check.
At this point,
No, I didn't kill him.
yeah. So new round. Sean, what are you gonna do?
Well, not everybody's out of the room, so I can't blow the truck.
Nope.
I actually like what's his face. So,
He's in the hallway.
Hold on, I was never in that
Only
room.
him, Joe, and Erica are in there. Or Margot.
I
Joe
thought they
Erica.
left.
No, Joe's wounded.
You
He
could help
cannot-
us move Joe.
Make an elder sign and hold it off.
Would that work?
Maybe if you carve it into your skin. That's what Lamplighter did.
You're in a library, there's lots of paper, make a big one.
What if I trace the diesel on the floor in a symbol and light it on fire?
I like that idea.
You could try it.
It's not going to work, but it'll still be cool.
It'll do something. We're just not sure what.
I kind of want to try that just because I want the huge burning symbol on the floor.
So you're rushing over to the truck to draw paint with diesel.
Well, no, there's diesel that's leaking all over the place, I'm sure.
Well, by the truck. I mean, like, the library is a big room. The truck's off in the northeast corner of it, so you could go to the northeast corner and start painting with diesel.
Do I have my flask?
Sure.
Okay. How about I just pour the booze out
Okay.
in the shape of a symbol and light it?
You can. How big are you doing it?
How big's my flask?
Not that big.
So as big as you reasonably can with the contents of your flask?
Is that what you're going for?
Yes.
All right. That would be like maybe 2 feet in diameter, something like that.
It's a good start. If it seems to work at all, then you can go do it with the diesel. Right? Right.
We'll give it a try.
Okay. All right. Give me a stability check.
4.
Okay. You have to.
What do I have to do?
Well, you still lose stability to a you successfully make the Elder Sign. You cost 1 stability point. As it is a temporary one. But you are painting it, and
Pretty expensive.
all right, Anne. The priest is drawing with booze on the floor of the library. Yeah. But the booze is taking fixed shape, which is odd. Well, it's odd for you to watch the booze suddenly, like, not be liquid, but suddenly taking a fixed shape as you are drawing in the Elder Sign, as you are. But yeah, no, that clearly makes sense. Liquid does that, right? Yeah, no, clearly.
Have I lit it on fire yet?
That's up to you.
Let's light her up.
Okay, you make a fire. There's a column of fire in the library. Erica and Joe seem mildly disconcerted by that. Anyways.
Emanating in the shape of the symbol?
Yeah.
Sweet.
But anyways, what are
That
you going to
means
do?
it's more effective.
Yeah,
Of course.
clearly.
If it's burning, it's working.
If you want, you could spin another reassurance point to tell Erica to go on without you, and then she can go to the wine cellar herself, and then you can help Joe with an athletics check.
Will
Or
that
you
be
could-
next turn, though?
You can do both in the same round.
I can.
You can
Alright.
tell her to go without you and then help Joe, or you could tell Erica to help you carry Joe, which would be a lower athletics check. Or you could do something else.
She seems very concerned about him, so I'm going to ask her to help me get Joe to the wine
Okay.
cellar.
Give me an athletics check.
Alright.
So you take one of his arms. She takes the other. You start.
6.
All right. No, you make a lot of progress. You get. In fact, the priest is now closer to the window than you are. So, which will be really important in a second. So.
How am I closer to the window?
She moved.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
trying
So
to
I'm really
escape.
close to the burning symbol.
Yeah, the burning symbol's sort of in the middle of the room. She's moving
Oh,
past
okay,
you.
okay,
She's
okay.
leaving the room. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So Melissa, you're in the
still
foyer. You can yell at him. He can hear you from this distance, or you can rush up, get to him right next to him this turn if you
Can
want.
I run and yell at the same time?
Yeah, sure. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. What are you yelling?
I'm yelling his name and yelling, "Do you see it?"
He yells back. No. That is, the structure is in the way. It is not headed towards this current location.
Did you hear it?
I heard it. I did hear its vocalizations.
It's coming towards the library, I think.
Yes. It is clearly.
We need to do something about it.
Yes. The apparatus, the instrument is quite unwieldy. Could you distract it? Could you bring it here?
Could I help you with the apparatus instead?
Don't. That's a horrible choice.
Yeah, so he's opened up his steamer.
Distracting
He's
the
got the steamer
monster?
trunk out of the roadster, and he and Omri are messing with it. The back of the trunk is like towards you, so you have to walk around to see. Do you want to see what's in the trunk?
No.
Okay. But he says, well, if you want, I could, if you, here, he produces something, take this, this will lure it to, whoever's holding this piece of paper. Then bring it on this side of the mansion.
How close do I need to get to the monster?
Just get a visual line of sight on it.
Okay.
We also have the cars, so you could.
I can't drive.
You can drive it all.
No.
You can make base checks, but yeah, you really don't want to roll a 1.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't drive, so.
Okay.
What with the lightning gun?
So basically, he's telling you
Yeah.
the instrument is very slow, and he's right here. And if the monster's coming this way, he can't shoot through the building to get
Right,
it.
so the
So
monster
you have to
needs
get
come
it
around.
over on this side of, somewhere within line of sight of him. So that's what he's telling you. You could tell him to move it, but it's a steamer trunk worth of something.
Right. Is there a horse nearby?
What? It is a rural place.
I know, because I have riding.
You can give me actually, no, I'll just say, yeah, there is a horse. There is a
What are you going to punch the horse?
There's a horse.
Ride the horse.
I'm going to move faster than
It
my
looks
own
like
two legs.
somebody went in the stables and loosed all the horses. And one of them is like about 30 feet away.
Okay, so I'm going to get on a horse.
All right.
And I'm going to spend 4 points of riding.
First, you have to get on the horse. So give me a riding check to get the.
Okay, I'm going to spend 1 point to get on the horse.
All right.
I'm on.
All right.
5.
So that's your turn. You see the horse. You get the lure, and you get the horse.
I got the paper in my hand, and
yeah.
I'm on the horse.
All right. So, Bill, you're in the hallway. You get up. You're just cold, wet dampness soaking through your clothes.
So confused. Okay, but I've heard her and Lamplighter yelling back and forth.
You can't make it. I can't make the exact contents, but you can.
But I heard that they were yelling.
Yes.
So I know Lamplighter's been alerted.
Yes.
So I'm just going to leave that as it may, and assume I don't want to go in the library. I'll go back in the direction of the library.
All right. So you're just lingering in the hallway outside the library.
Well, surely that much movement takes
No, that's
some
automatic.
time,
You
right?
don't. In fact, you see Margot and Erica trying to get this hulking bodyguard out of the way.
Okay, I'll let him do that. I somehow feel like
Nice. All right. So
I just somehow get the feeling that the priest may have gotten distracted.
Yeah.
Maybe not distracted, but just like he's busy right now.
You see the priest has set a fire in the room.
Okay, that's fine.
You
That's
can't
good.
see what he's done.
It's a giant flaming beacon.
Yeah.
Name it for what it is.
All right.
Someone should probably work on actually getting the book. I'm not saying that we're having problems otherwise.
The book will survive.
But what if the monster was sent to get the book?
Ooh.
We don't know what the monster.
I don't
was
have
sent
the
to do.
combination to the safe. The only person with the combination
I
to the
have
safe is Margot.
Yeah.
Really?
And
She
Erica.
didn't tell us? Are you sure she didn't tell us? I'm pretty sure she told us.
Margot, did you
wanna
tell
go
the
get
other
it?
players that what the save combination was?
Well, not in earshot of the other people, but I.
Well,
like,
you
when
could
we
have
were
done
at-
that while you were on the drive back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you tell Bill's character? Please tell me.
That's what we were getting at.
Did
Yes.
you just tell Bill's character? Only Bill's character?
What, you don't even want to know the combination?
No.
All right.
Okay, you could have been going la 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 while we were.
All right.
Because I don't, the safe is in the window. I don't want to go.
All right. Here's what happens. So you know that you do know the safe combination.
Okay, I'm
What do you
going
do?
to go to the safe.
All right, which is on the north wall. So towards the sound of it encroaching. Are you making an athletics check to run towards it?
No.
Just walking.
Yes.
All right. So you're walking towards it, watching the two women carry the wounded man back, and that's when it punches through the wall. Like
Which
your truck,
wall?
the north wall, the one with the safe. It
Kind of
just-
like a truck would.
yeah, only it's flying and it's made of ropey black, just material that sort of writhes and grows and just sort of oscillates like it's not fully in this universe or not, but it is. The twitching, writhing form is massive. It takes up the entire north walls. It just sort of smashes into it. It seems to be. It has an enormous set of jaws, eyes that look at you. Now, actually, seeing it mash through the wall, that will be another stability check for everybody in there.
Great.
And Margot, you could just focus on getting away, so you can actually not
I
make it.
failed.
Yeah.
I have
But you're
seen
wa-
it.
Yeah, actually, no, you don't have to do it yet. You actually saw it before.
I failed.
All right.
I failed.
All right, so that will be 4 points of stability.
Ow.
Yeah, that is a giant monster. It is easily 40 feet long, 10 feet in diameter. It is just ridiculous insanity. And here's what happens on its action. It goes right towards you. It is drawn to the beacon. The Elder Sign column, the 2-foot diameter column of fire and light, actually is a solid barrier. The wall of the building just was disintegrated. The safe, you can hear the metal clanking around. You can't see what happens in that maelstrom of destruction. But it slams into that, and actually physically, the Elder Sign physically repels it. But then it flickers and goes out. So you stopped its momentum. It's a temporary one. You made it a boost. You were actually... so then, it is going to try and bite you.
But it has burned a scorch mark in the floor that has made it more permanent.
Yeah, sorry. It is...
What?
Yep. No. You used all the booze up. There's nothing left. It's just... all of it is fire. So, in order to make a permanent Elder Sign, you actually have to etch it in metal, and that will actually cost you a permanent stability rating point. So, making a temporary one is temporary. So, anyways, and it was only 2 feet in diameter, so it stopped its momentum, but then it didn't destroy it, so it's just going to move around and try and bite you.
Does it not get any damage from this?
It stopped it. It didn't kill you by just stampeding through you, so...
I will be dead.
Yeah. If it hits.
It'll hit.
It's not spending any points. But that's a 4, so that will hit.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
Please be dead.
Can I give a flee check?
Let's see here. On your next action, you do take 5 points of damage.
That puts me at 3.
You're alive.
Yeah, you're alive. But then you also see the tail. You're close enough. You actually see that the safe is bouncing around. It's been freed from its mooring in the wall. It's bouncing around, but you can see the creature. One of its eyes. It has way too many eyes. It is looking at the safe, and its tail wraps around the safe. So it is, so that's what it does this round. It flies into the wall.
Is the safe near the truck?
The whole creature's near the truck. It takes up the half of the room.
What's the blast radius of the truck? If
you have no idea.
I have explosives.
All right, make a check.
I will add 3.
Okay.
6.
All right. It will. If there depends. You don't know how much gas is in there, but if you detonate it, it should take. It should be pretty decent at least. Pretty decent. Good.
Will it hit us and the monster?
Yeah, of course.
Or just the monster?
You'll turn it into a massive shrapnel bomb. You know. It will...
Make sure you have cover. In other words.
Anyway, fortunately, because of the priest's Elder Sign, the monster did not demolish the entire room. But you can hear the roof creaking underneath you. The building's no longer structurally sound, at least the north part of it. The entire place is going to collapse any minute now. So you really want to make another athletics check. Erica will give you a +1 on your roll. She doesn't want to die either.
She's
motivated. I'll add 2. So
7.
6.
Yeah. You get out of the room. You're in the corridor now, so you're not in the immediate range of the monster. Bill, how you doing?
Questioning my choices.
Yeah.
Well, I'm definitely not gonna be going for the safe currently.
Seeing that it's wrapped in the tail.
I really hate to just be the guy that runs back and forth from things. But, it seems like a wise choice right now.
All right, it is a giant fucking monster.
Right, and I'm pretty sure the priest is going to try to do something that I don't want to be around for.
All right.
Is the priest behind cover? Because if the priest is not behind cover, the priest will not do anything really crazy.
Whatever, I'm fleeing. I flee.
All right. You get out. All right, so, Melissa, you can, with a riding check, you can get within view of the monster this round. Because you hear it. You hear
right.
It's like a tornado ripping through the building, only it's made of flesh and rage.
So I'm going to spend 1 point of writing.
All right.
4.
All right, 4 is good enough. Now give me a stability check. You see a mass of flesh coils that have...
2. Not so great.
All right, that is for stability. Yeah.
Not doing awesome.
It is not. It is... and then it as it stops, it looks at all of you, and then it turns, and then it looks outside to the east, and then it just pushes itself out of the room. So guess
what does it do with the safe?
The safe's still in the sail. Anyways, Melissa
okay, so
is
lightning gun. It'll be fine.
Yeah, Melissa, you see it, and it comes out at you. It's just
I've got the paper.
yeah, yeah,
I think it sees you.
yeah. It definitely sees you. You really want to make a really high riding check.
Okay, so I'm going to spend 3 on riding.
All right, it's going to spend 1 on biting you.
I'm running.
You have to beat
The
its
horse
roll
is
of a
running.
7.
I don't.
All
I
right,
have a 5.
all right. You have a 5.
I thought you spent 3. Oh,
I
that's
rolled a 2.
Yeah. All right. So it rolled. Yeah, I rolled a 6. So
It
here's.
bites me. Or
It-
my horse. Maybe
it
it bites
can't-
my horse.
In fact, it does. I will give you an athletics check or a fleeing check to jump off the horse before it gets the horse.
Betrayal.
Athletics check, I'm going to add 3. So I'm 9.
Yeah, you leap clear of the horse, and you're barely within. You actually accomplished it. Yeah, you hear the horse being rent by the monster.
Okay.
It's another point of stability.
Dang it.
Not so much for sympathy for the horse, but realizing what's going to happen to you if it catches you.
Right.
As it's, you hear the sound of the wind behind you as it's beating its wings.
You were the wind.
But you look over and you can see an unearthly green glow coming from the location of the roadster on the steamer trunk. So give me one more stability check.
1.
Okay. It's only 2-1.
I'm going to pass out.
What is your stability at?
0.
You're just mentally scarred.
Rolled a range.
As you were temporarily blinded by a flash of green light, and you hear the roar of the beast.
Another runner in the night.
The roar of the beast behind you. As there is, and then you smell the scent of ozone. But then, so you pass out for a moment, just from the sheer, just the landing, the impact, and the flash light. So, all of you,
Give me a stability check.
yeah, no, the monster fled the room. So you're safe. What are you going to do as the monster's left to chase something else?
You're welcome.
Yeah.
No kidding.
Well, I was going to blow the truck if he was still in the room. So
No,
now,
he's not. So
now I don't have to blow the truck.
All right. So I assume the scene's basically over. As you look at each other in sudden silence for a moment, then you hear the flash as well as see it. As you see that the green light blinds all of you, regardless of where you are. And
light doesn't work like that.
yeah, well, you don't want to think about it. Yes, everyone give me stability checks for that, except for Melissa. So,
I'm passed out.
yeah.
I got a 1.
So did I.
You lose 1 stability point as the light. It does not behave like light. Everything is completely illuminated, regardless of where it is.
Shadows cease to exist for a moment.
Yes. And you hear the roar of the beast. It is destroyed. You can't even fathom. But you come back out in the daze to the front lawn, and you see Omri helping up Melissa's character as she is recovering from her daze, and the lamplighter is looking at a very charred safe that has a chemical. There's the scent of chemical of an acrid smell is everywhere, and the smell of ozone is conflicting with it. It's just.
Is the safe hot to the touch?
Do you go up and touch it?
I'm going to put my hand close enough to know if it's hot.
Yes, it is, but that doesn't seem to bother Lamplighter. He is fiddling with the combination of the safe.
Wait, does he know it?
I'll just go ahead and tell him.
He's lamplighter.
Yeah. One of you will have written it down in the future or in the past at some point. We will find that, or it has already been found.
Oh, so you're saying you already know?
Now I do.
Okay, that would have worked.
Yes. He opens it up. He grabs the People of the Monolith. The other books are kind of charred in there, but they're
But the one that's made of metal is fine.
the one of metal is there. So it's like, it is important to keep this information out of the hands of the forces of the crawling chaos.
I hope so.
Yes. But I will give you information in the future, provide additional resources, because you will have helped us, and will and have
Are helping.
Yes. So it is a mutually reciprocate. If there's any information you wish to know, we can. Look for the Lamplighters wherever you go. We have assistance in other places. Unless there's any questions now.
Do we really have to go to Australia?
You have... Yes. Reserve continuity and space-time continuity. Well, no, perhaps you don't have to go. Because you might have already been deceased.
I don't like you.
Don't take it personally. He doesn't like anyone.
It is better for you to go at some point for this investigation. Perhaps another group could be appointed if you find other people you can trust to bring into this matter.
I just keep looking at him with disdain.
Is there anything else?
Can you guys think of anything else? I think this has been pretty eventful. It was a good plan.
There is one
glad
more.
to be a part of it.
There is danger at the... there's one other place. These men have information related to a stronghold of the crawling chaos somewhere in this area, region.
Is it Sing Sing or Juju?
Not Sing Sing. Sing Sing has nothing to do with this.
So we don't got a Sing Sing.
What are you talking about?
The prison.
Sing Sing.
Yeah.
It's
Why
a
would that
prison.
be related?
Because it's near the mansion.
And because,
Okay.
and because Ross mentioned it earlier. Law of conservation of detail.
Yes. It's in the book, all right? I've just mentioned what's in the book.
Turns out it was just set dressing.
Yes, there are going to be some red herrings and stuff like that. Anyway.
Would have been better if it was Bellevue.
So,
Anyway.
he gets in the car with Omri. So,
Wait, with Omri?
yes.
Oh.
She wants to go. She won't be targeted. The forces of the crawling chaos won't be able to find her as long as she's near.
Just the Yithians.
Yes.
So there's that.
Yeah. They're fine.
They're not
They
that
never
bad.
do anything weird.
They're
Not that
They're going to
bad.
strand you in anyway.
by the standards of Lovecraft's universe.
Point.
Yeah.
And as an historian, like, if I've lived my life and I get stuck in the far past,
Okay,
I mean,
that's great from your own
Yeah.
viewpoint. From
Yeah.
being the mentally shattered, probably man stuck in I guess one more
Yeah.
mind teleport wouldn't be that bad. Especially if it meant you lived in relative peace.
Yeah.
Anyway, neither here nor there.
So he drives off. So, well, Erica is in a daze, but you can take the fragments of the books you found in the safe. She obviously wants nothing to do with it anymore. She's going to take a vacation far away from New York.
not Africa.
No,
And not
Or
Australia.
Australia.
Don't even go to New
She
Zealand
will
or
go to
Tasmania.
Colorado. You know.
Really?
Wyoming. Go to Wyoming.
I don't know. There's a lot of yig in the West.
Yeah.
You don't know that, all right? Some metagame. Anyway.
Yeah.
Maybe try Florida. There's not much. No, that could be bad.
What,
too.
the Everglades? You think there's not
Yeah.
something in the Everglades?
Yeah, you're just talking about Yig.
Maybe Texas. Go to Texas.
Again, yig.
Yeah. Anyways, there's basically Cthulhu mythos everywhere.
Yeah,
We're
it's
all,
Go to
true.
Iceland.
no,
Really?
there's even more things.
You're sure Ithaqua's not set up in Iceland?
Yeah. they've been
I'm
welcome.
having fun with this, though.
All right. So at this point, that was a good climax for the New York chapter. You could go to the Juju house, but you know it is a stronghold.
I think we're going to want to rest first, really.
Yeah.
And get the priest some fire bombs.
Okay, so you are going to go to the Juju house. So is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, but I think we're going to need a break.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
This will be enough for this session. I mean, this.
We need to heal
Yeah.
a lot and
Yeah, we're
touch
going for-
bases with our sources of stability and our pillars of sanity.
yeah.
All of them.
Well, actually, in this case, you might want to leave New York because there's certainly going to be more cultists, and
You
they
know-
certainly have information about you, or going to be
visit
looking.
my sister for
Yeah.
a week.
You can actually invite her on a trip on a boat because each chapter is only accessible by a trip. So that is something to think about. So
So you're saying it might be okay to leave the final boss monster.
That's not, if you want to be hardcore, but you're really not going to have a chance to heal up in New York. Like, cult forces are going to be looking for you. And they have enough information now that they're going to be able to...
Go to London.
Patrick says that London's nice this time of year.
I'm sure London is fantastic in the winter.
It's better than the summer.
You could go to you could go to a better. You could go to a
We're
warmer
not
place.
going to Australia. I don't care that it's in the southern hemisphere.
What about Italy first? I could talk to some co-religionists, maybe look at the Z archives. It's only a quick jaunt from Italy up to
well,
to London.
You do have other leads too. Obviously, there are things in Egypt
or back to
Cairo.
Shanghai.
Well, you also you realize that the expedition was lost in Nairobi or in Kenya, so you could go to Nairobi, pick up their trail there. You don't have many clues there, so yeah.
London sounds nice and close.
All right, London it is. So
and quiet.
You leave New York
sure
as
it
you
won't
left
be.
L.A. and as you left Shanghai in a cloud of mystery and violence.
Death and destruction.
There's a trend here.
Yeah.
I wonder if it has anything to do with this.
It's mostly
so
just me.
you have confronted the forces of the mythos and you have survived.
For today.
For now. So, question, comments, suggestions. You guys have fun?
Thank you for letting there be a horse there. I
Yeah.
don't think I would be alive otherwise.
The writing will also come a lot more in like Kenya and Australia. And other
I want to buy a bigger flask.
you can have a bigger flask. So you'll be able to refresh your general abilities, investigative abilities, your stability.
I'm talking like a keg that I can strap to my waist.
So we'll get into that before next session.
Yeah.
But yeah, in that case, we'll pick up as Mask goes on to London.
On to London.
London, Colin. All right, see you guys next time.